Hello, everyone. Welcome to It's a Long Story, a place where we roll dice, we tell stories, and we create magic. That's right. New year, new slogan. We'll see how it works out. Welcome, everybody. We are here with our lovely crew from the Isles. Everybody look at the camera, wave, and say hi.
Hello.
Hello.
It is the first. It's the first session of the new year. It's one. It's the first of them. Isn't that exciting? I'm excited. As we are jumping into stuff for today, picking up where we left off from a little bit of a break. We're going to do, before we're going to get into that, we're going to just do a couple of announcements up front. First and foremost, as I had mentioned on Friday, what was I going to say? The golden ticket entry for the Isles is officially closed. We have our full group, everybody. Hey, hello. Complete with our new friend Nav. Everybody look at Nav and say hi. Try to get to the box. Get to where they are.
Hi. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Wrong side. That was a pretty good Brady Bunch. We did it.
Agreed.
Is that dating myself? Brady Bunch. It was a show. Anyways. So a couple announcements on it. So first and foremost, so we officially are we have closed that sort of realm for those that are interested in joining in future campaigns. Obviously, please feel free to continue to watch. We're going to have a bunch of stuff jumping in for one-shots and things like that on that. But right now, the campaigns for anything that is involving the Tales of Imea, the Imea world, for those who are actually joining us for the first time, the fun thing about our sessions that are on here for our Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday sessions, they are all taking place in the same world at the same time. So there's some fun sort of antics of crossover things and stuff like that, which makes for a really cool and chaotic and so far works very well. So if you're interested in joining into our crazy little world, there are some things that we do have coming up. First and foremost, we are still desperately looking for people to join our Candela Obscura game that we're building. We have for those that are not familiar with Candela Obscura, that is the cosmic horror game that has been designed by Darrington Press, the friends and makers of Candela Obscura, but also Critical Role. So if you have not heard anything about that, I would highly suggest you check out those sessions. But if you were interested in learning more about our version of it, our little bit of a homebrew sort of flick where we take our foot and we put it into a real world setting in the year 1901 in a little place that is near and dear to my heart, North Shore, Massachusetts. A place that is chock full of lore of like stuff that's like based on real life stuff, and like, you know, Salem witch trials. That was the thing that happened. That's pretty scary. Nav, you're joining us from Manchester. How much do you know about the Salem witch trials? And if it's zero, that's fine. I'm just curious.
I know a little. I've heard about it. I know about Massachusetts. I know it was there in Salem. But apart from general knowledge, not that much, to be fair.
Gotcha. Well, cool. Well, if that feels like you at home and you want to jump into a cosmic horror sort of style game, Shadows of the North Shore might be the game for you. So if you're interested in jumping into that, I'm going to be putting the link here in our private chat, as well as sorry, I said that backwards. It is all of our games are actually available on to be able to be seen for our links and stuff on the YouTube channel. So right underneath this video, you should see the video description of all that stuff. But if you're watching this on Twitch, I know Instagram didn't end up working this time around. Instagram's being a little funky right now. But if you're watching this on Twitch, I'm putting this in the private chat for you to be able to check out. I want to make sure this sentence makes sense here. Because I had to. It was the first time taking out Tales of Imea. Hopefully that makes sense. So putting in the link here for that. So if you're interested in joining, it is Thursday nights. If you are interested in playing some extremely deep, introspective, scary horror, fucking with your mind sort of type of game with some really awesome friends, please join us. We did our playtest earlier in the I guess late last year, September of last year, and Evan was actually one that was a part of it. Evan played an awesome character. All right, what was your character's name again, Evan?
Decker.
Decker.
Yeah, Decker.
Yeah, it's fun stuff. So please go ahead and check that out on our YouTube channel. It'll be under Shadows of the North Shore. Last but not least, we wrapped up our Steinhardt's Guide to the Eldritch Hunt. Most likely plans are to be jumping into to be joining the next sort of drop-in, drop-out campaign will be a Humblewood campaign. So we are officially going to be starting on that. Most likely probably closer to February. We're going to take a little bit of a break, doing some one-shot stuff on the side there. But yeah. Oh, Nav, my wife said hi. That's my wife. Thank you, honey. She's the best. Where was I? So if you're interested in jumping into that, obviously we'll have more info on that later on in the month. But in the meantime, we'll be having some one shots that we're going to be pushing in probably starting next week. I think I'm going to take a weekend break if you guys are cool with that. Saturday and Sunday, this Saturday and Sunday, we're going to take a break. We'll start next week on that. But we'll probably be doing a couple Humble one shots, maybe some old classic favorites. Evan, have you done any of the one shots? You've done a couple, right?
I mean, I did the Humblewood one. Yeah.
Right.
And then other than that, no, I don't think I've done any of the other one shots. I did, yeah.
You did the Rite of
drop in, drop
Chakra.
out.
Yeah, right. But you did the Rite of Chakra, right? When we were like kind of playtesting that.
No.
No. Okay.
Yep.
Well, anyways,
I was thinking about the other day. I haven't been, but I'm sure they're wonderful because all the drop in, drop out ones are wonderful. So yeah.
The perfect time probably to actually reintroduce those and kind of dust them off the shelves. There's some really fun ones there. If you want to play an all bard campaign, that one's or an all bard one shot. That one's really fun.
Oh, that does sound fun.
That was oh man, what's the name of it? McClellan's. I'm ruining my own title. Anyways. Let's move on. So yeah, if you're interested in checking that out, please check out our startplaying.games / it's a long story _ TTRPG. Yeah, McClellan's. There was something else there. It wasn't just McClellan's Melons. McClellan Melon Mystery. It's zany. It's silly. You should play it. People really like that one. I think we'll actually start off with that one. But then lastly, if you're interested in following us on our various social medias, Instagram, TikTok, the other one. Is it just Instagram and TikTok? I think that might be it.
Is it Twitch?
YouTube, Twitch. I mean, these ones, yeah. We'll say all of them. They're all there in our link tree. We're just putting that in the private chat. So please feel free to check that out. And if you are interested in supporting the channel and getting us out there to more people, if you're interested in supporting in any way that actually is free, please feel free to just hit that subscribe button. I hate having to kind of do that line, but it is something that actually will help us out a lot, feeding the almighty algorithm to get our name a little bit more out there. Also, because it is our first session of the new year, I figured this would be a good time for me to show off my Christmas present that Brandon got for me. So Brandon, thank you so much. These are something that will most likely be in a future merch store. So if you're interested in getting your own It's a Long Story t-shirt, please reach out to me and we'll figure it out. But the merch store will be coming up probably pretty soon. We'll figure that out this year. I promise. So yeah, again, Brandon, thank you. It's beautiful. Fits great. All right. So I think that is it as far as the announcement stuff. Pretty simple today. So before we get in tonight, we need to know where we left off. Evan, if you would please do the honors.
Yeah, I got it. Let's go. All right. So last time we were traveling inland down a river in our as yet unnamed vessel. And Sylvia started sharing a vision she had, and she kind of talked to us about how she used to be a prophet in wherever her world was, and then kind of left that. But the reason we relived that single day, and presumably why she had lived that day many times, was some giant lizard-like creature was forming from bones and wreaking havoc on the island and perhaps more. And she just knew that it hinged upon that moment. And so after many times going through the scenario at the Emberlight Tavern, we ended up meeting together, surviving, and creating this improbable timeline. Sylvia also tells us that the island of Chasavi has a soul, and we're traveling inland to meet it and to the heart of the island. And I think it's like a place and an entity both called Chase. I think it's like something like Chase. Zed invents autopilot, invents autopilot, and then tries to catch us some food. Unfortunately, the food is very large and not a fan of being called food. Ogra ends up saving the day by magically lassoing it aboard with her thorn whip. Then the river starts to get rough, and eventually we decide to pull over and park the ship and rest for the night. On land, Ogra makes some lovely bedding for everyone out of druid skills and moss and flowers, and a few party members start to explore the area we're in a bit. Carr consults his spirits, and they're not very helpful. And then we were all just kind of, I don't know, there's stuff happening. We were kind of dirtling around, and then we hear a terrible sound from the jungle, and something appears. I can't remember the name of it. We just called it an alligator. So a large, dangerous
Definitely not
creature.
a Catoblepus.
Yes, that came bounding out at us. Initially, we got pretty thwomped, just taking like over 30 damage in one hit, and Riaris taking a lot of that damage, and then also Ogre probably, and then Ogre tried out the new tactic of summoning Muffins, her pet, right under Riaris, which, since she had not informed anyone that was a thing, did not work out well, and Riaris was thrown to the ground. And then Zed, at the end, jumped, caught a boomerang that was thrown earlier, threw it at the monster, and it went straight into its eye and out the other side, and that was it. And we finished it off, and that's where we ended.
Perfect. Awesome. Turn the sound effects down as low as I can go. Sorry, gang. I think it's a little loud. My bad. Nice. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick up right from that very moment. So at this point, it is now becoming close to nightfall. We have players that are just like, characters that are just kind of picking themselves back up, trying to kind of get an idea of what the heck just happened. We have weapons that are missing, things like that. So we're going to take it away from there. You were all looking around at the Catoblepus that is lying dead on the ground. The stench is still pungent, but not going to be affecting you in any sort of condition sort of way. As you immediately get the idea of where all these mushrooms must have come from. All right. What would you guys like to do?
I am definitely going to go and get my dagger from that beast.
I'm also going to get my boomerang back. And I would also like to immediately start trying to get the horn off of it.
Cool. You got it. Trying to take a horn off. You got it.
Yeah, Ogre says, I call shiny!
Okay. Awesome. So as you guys just take your dagger and your boomerang out of this creature, that is not a problem at all. But Ogre, as you are looking through this thing, go ahead and give me, I want to say give me either an investigation or a medicine check. I'll take either one.
I'll do medicine, that's better. That would be a 9.
No? Cool. Awesome. So with that medicine check, you are pulling at this thing, and I would say, for the next 5 to 10 minutes or so, it's a point where I think, for anyone who's around Riaris, I imagine you're relatively pretty close. You notice that there's actually you hear a slight crack, and you actually hear that it's probably coming from the neck of the beast rather than the horn, like the top of the horns at all, as Ogre is just trying to wrench this thing up. You hear that most likely if it's going to tear, it's going to tear from the neck.
Ogre, you want to help with
I
that?
think you're muted, Dan.
No,
Oh, never mind.
I can hear you.
Sorry.
Now you're muted.
Yeah.
Now I'm muted. Now I'm back.
There- now
All
you're
right,
good.
Pressing the buttons. For the 16th time.
Sorry.
Ogre, no. No, it's my fault. I'm pressing the right time. Do you want any help, Ogre? I think you're just going to rip the whole head off if you keep doing this.
Yes, Ogre calls the horns. Ogre wants one horn at least.
Okay. Maybe we could try to cut it, or I don't think we want to eat this thing here.
Oh.
Do you know these, Ogre? Do you know this creature?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to try. Maybe I can get my my war pick out, maybe, and try to just help break off the horn, perhaps.
Yeah, I'd say if you want to try that. I mean, you guys, I'd say working through that together. Riar's going to give me an athletics check.
13.
13. Okay. Yeah, 13 is not bad. So with a 13, you're able to kind of it's going to take you about a good solid 10 minutes of just trying to get this one horn off this creature. So as you guys are spending time doing that, working together, Riaris, you're kind of just recovering from this. There's a certain point where you're kind of cutting down, and you just feel on your nose, you can see, oh, that's definitely blood. Okay. So you're trying to kind of hurry that up and say I need to full on go to sleep after this. Because that's what you do when you see blood in your nose, right? Sorry. Miranda, if you're watching this, sorry. I know that's probably not right. But you get the idea. But this is fantasy.
There.
Yeah.
Seeing that, Ogre's just going to do another curing wounds, touch his shoulder while we're doing this and cure wounds.
Got it. Go for it. Zed, what would you like to do?
You said when we defeated him, as he fell to the ground, he started having the mushrooms fall off his body.
Yes.
I want to see if I can get a couple of those mushrooms and see if there's anything poisonous or anything special about these mushrooms.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I'll say for this, give me a nature check.
And you heal 10 hit points.
Thank you.
I got a 12.
Okay, cool. With a 12, it's you did not get close enough to this creature to actually kind of have to deal with its poisonous sort of stench. With the 12, you get the idea that these mushrooms are not consumable in this form right now.
All right, I'm gonna.
You're not entirely sure what to do with them just yet.
Okay, I'm probably gonna pack them in a sack for later.
Okay, cool. You got it.
All right, and then I'm gonna go back to where the fish was cooking over the fire.
Okay, you got it. What's Car doing?
Car's gonna. He went to some of the trees. He's gonna hop over to some of the other trees close to where the Catoblepas came from, just to see if he can notice if they travel in packs. He doesn't want to get too close, but does he hear anything? Are there more coming? Do they need to be worried? That kind of thing.
Okay, cool, interesting. So as you were kind of listening and trying to figure this out,
And I am not going extraordinarily far away from the party. Just a little, I can still see them. They can see me. I'm up in a tree. Hey, am I seeing other movement out there that we need to be aware of?
Okay, cool. Awesome. Give me a perception check.
And my rolls are back. 4. I think there might be a tree I'm standing in.
Cool.
I think it might be a tree I'm in. Maybe.
Yeah. I'm so sorry, Gay. I'm hearing some of you guys are like cutting in and out. I know it's me because it happened last time too. It did get fixed when I reset and came back in, so I'm going to come right back in.
Y'all need to try some of this fish. So good.
I just like it's burnt on one side because we weren't turning the spit right.
Yeah, right.
You got some char going on.
Love it. Cool. So with a 4, you're not really hearing anything. You're
I'm not sure where I am at this point. I don't think.
I'll say with a 4, what's funny is that with a 4 you get the feeling that they probably don't come in packs. They don't seem to travel in packs.
Okay, well, that's bonus. I will then. I mean, I'm not going to push the 4. I go back to the party. See if I can clean up a bit. I mean.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. What is Yoon doing?
I think when he sees them start to try to disassemble this creature, he's not really interested in being a part of that. So I think he just goes back to the hammock and, if 10 minutes pass, he's going to re-summon, I think his name was Greg. We'll go with Greg.
That's Greg,
the unseen servant, and to just bring him some water, maybe fan him off a bit. There's like a fan just sort of going right next to the hammock invisibly, just fanning him off, and he's just kind of laying there.
Cool. Awesome. Sweet. So with that, as you guys are, I'll say 10 minutes have passed, Ogre, you finally are able to just wrench this thing off. I think Zed, right when you're about to kind of announce that food's ready.
All right. So, obviously, I'm gonna start eating some of it first. See how it is. Check it. Make sure it's cooked. I'm just gonna turn around and just yell, "It's ready!"
Okay.
And just food coming out of my mouth just as I'm yelling it.
Love it. Awesome. So I'll say with this, you guys are able to have a more relaxing evening. The fire is now kind of pulled up to a level that is not, you don't have to get very close to it. It's not too warm. It's giving off enough light for you guys to feel pretty relatively safe. One of the big things here that's kind of clearly presented is that this rainforest is extremely dangerous. So as you guys all kind of are sitting around the fire, getting prepared to just kind of finishing up the dinner. Sorry, one second. Where'd you go? There you are. Okay, good. Riaris. Sylvia kind of calls you over. Actually, she's gonna do the creepy thing, and she's gonna message in your head, and then say, "Hi, can I bother you for a second?"
I think we also will instinctively kind of look over his shoulders, not sure, still getting used to that a little bit. Is this one I can respond to?
Yes.
Sure. I was just going to do a perimeter check, see what company would be nice, I suppose.
Okay. So you move over to actually she'll kind of come over to you and then just kind of motion sort of to kind of get away from the group for a minute. So you're going to be actually in this more sort of darkness sort of area. As the rest of you are all kind of munching on your food and getting ready, you hear Sylvia just say to you, Riars, so this might not be the time to bring this up, but do you know why you're here? I know that sounds like a silly question, but I don't think it is for you. You seem more lost than the rest here. Well, maybe not Zed. So we see Zed just crunching away on like fish skin. Yeah.
Scales.
Crispy.
Yes and no. I think the more part of it is no, other than it's hard to explain. Really, it's to do with spirits in my tribe, and I had a vision. I don't have visions. I had it once, and the signs led to something down here. This is not a place my people come, so I don't really know what to do down here, to be honest with you. But I believe I should be here, if that makes sense.
Yes, I thought that Asmars don't really claim a specific place in the material plane as theirs. I'm confused.
Well, to be honest with you, I don't know a lot of other Asmars and how they do it. I've known my tribe where I'm from my whole life, and we are very insular. Not often one of us leaves. This is part of my training to show worth to my tribe, as well as something else I think I can say. So I don't know if I'm quite like other Asmars you may have met.
Understood. Well, it's gonna be at least another day's journey before we reach Matan, and then get to talk to Chase. But I guess I kind of wanted to warn you. You're very important to this group. I can't exactly tell you 100% why right now, but there's going to be some things that'll come up that'll be possibly very frightening, and I just think you should open up and just try to stay open and listen to her. When you hear the word "her," there's this weird sort of like Riars, if you're staring at Sylvia, you see Sylvia is mouthing a different word, but you hear her. And there's a sense of like a little bit of it as a almost like no good way to explain this except for like almost like an AI sort of version of Sylvia, where you just hear that as if someone was taking a sample of how she would normally sound like if she said her.
I think my hand instinctively goes up to the earring. I don't know how. I want to. The other day, the first time I came on, that was the first time she ever said anything. I don't really know how to communicate or speak. I can feel her. That's how I know where I am is where I should be. I don't know what to do or what she wants me to do. Trying to be open, but my whole life has been told not to be open. So, not so easy.
All I can tell you is that she's an extremely powerful spirit that seems to be trapped, or maybe trapped's not the right word. It's just I don't know anything about your history, where you come from. You're very mysterious, but I guess you're probably a little bit more ready than I thought you were. So I apologize.
I have a question. You've seen a lot of futures, pasts. I'm still not entirely sure how this whole thing works. Do I die in all of them? Is that like my fate? And I'm okay if it is. I'm not upset with it. I don't really like it. I don't know. Is that how this works?
It's weird for a. I'm sure it's weird to hear from a divine sorceress such as myself, but I don't know. I don't see your deaths ahead of time right now. Just so you know, like I'm not omniscient. I think she has this like sort of knee-jerk sort of reaction where she looks over at Yoon, who is just, kind of just calmly relaxing, sitting in the hammock, and just kind of like she kind of trails off in that and looks back at you and is, sorry. Yeah, we're both learning.
Well,
Try not to die.
I think I will try a little harder going forward. It's kind of against my instinct not just to jump in, but I've quickly learned that the things in these isles are different than what I'm used to. It's kind of a wake-up call. I don't really want to die, but thank you. No, I appreciate your guidance.
You're welcome. Okay. Well, you guys are staying here tonight on land, which is fine. But I'm gonna stay in the boat.
Why would you do that? I don't. What?
Just seeing the future doesn't necessarily keep you from being safe. Not that it's not safe out here. It's just I'm gonna stay in the boat.
Of course. Yeah. Well, that's. I don't get it, but that's your choice. That makes sense for you. Well, thank you for turning in. I'm gonna kind of walk around a little bit, make sure we're good before resting down.
Okay. Make sure you look before you step. Sorry, that's weird. Okay, goodbye.
Immediately look down around my feet to see if there's like crap on the ground or whatever, just to make sure, walk lightly.
Great. Cool. Riaris, give me a religion check.
Oh boy, it's gonna be a 7.
Cool. Yeah, what? I'm sorry. Because we shouldn't rely on this as being a level of understanding, because it's not going to necessarily give. Sorry, give me a wisdom saving throw. Apologies.
Even better. Oh, well, natural 20. That is better, I guess.
That is definitely better. Okay. Well, I asked for it. Cool. You, as you see her walk away, and you're looking around you and trying to kind of like collect yourself, you hear a voice that is both extremely familiar and very alien. You hear the voice say to you, in the mid, almost it sounds like they're like in the middle of a conversation, like as if they're actually been talking to you the whole time, but you're just connecting here at this moment. Are you? Do you think you're watching Sylvia walk away?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, you got you hear in your head, wow, so she's just, she's just kind of putting herself out there, and you're not even paying attention to what she's saying. God, of all the ears that I have to be hanging out on, this is just. You're not saying anything. You're not walking away. Can you hear me right now?
I will stop and just kind of like, I don't even know where to look like up at the sky, almost like trying to look into my brain.
Yeah.
Type of like, what, I imagine I might feel something from the. Do I?
You
feel
absolutely
anything?
do. Yeah. I would say it's like a couple steps down from being uncomfortably hot.
Yeah. Yes, I can hear you.
Oh my. Oh, finally. Why now? Was it her? Why? Doesn't matter. Listen. You almost died again. That's not good.
I seem to have a habit of that. Yes.
Anyways, I don't know how long you're going to be able to hold this up, so I will just be very clear. My name is Talia. I'm the granddaughter of my grandfather. I would say your god, your idol, Calrus. Do you know this? I don't know. We've had conversations, but you haven't been around to hear them. It's just me talking to you this whole time. So,
I know of you and certainly of Calros. I don't think I understood all of this though. Nice to meet you, Talia. Formally, I suppose.
Sure. Yes. Okay. Cool. Well, again, I don't know when this is going to break. You're being followed. I don't know if you know this.
Well, like now, I saw something in the woods when we were coming down, but it seemed to go away.
I have a feeling that they're pretty close by. I don't have eyes, but
Big, small.
Turn your head for me.
No, kind of.
No, not so quick like that. No, slow down. You just pick a
Can you
direction.
see through my eyes? Are you able?
No, I'm. Sort of.
Okay, I'll
just
look over here.
You look over there. And to the left, you see, I think like Ogra just like finishing up like her bed. And, like, just like I think Ogra looks over you. First off, you're talking out loud, so anyone around, you're not that far off from the group. So anyone around, you guys just hear Riara's talking to himself, and this is a first. So, freaking nat 20. That's incredible. Okay, no, not there. Keep going.
Okay. Start like slowly, almost like getting ready to, towards the woods. Not probably going to turn back towards the party, but.
Yeah, you look towards the woods. Nope, right there. Okay, great. Right there. They're like crouching in the bushes, and they're trying to look like they. I think they think that you can't. You can't see them, but I can. Someone's out there.
I don't know how this works. Before I do anything, do you think they're friendly or?
No idea.
Should I get around?
No idea. I can't feel really people's emotions necessarily, unless it's yours because I'm on your ear. But yeah, no, there's someone definitely out there. You could wait. I don't know. Maybe they'll. Kill you in the dead of night, or maybe they'll, wait and, I don't know why they're following you, but there's definitely someone following you.
Okay, well, let's figure it out, I think. It's best. I'm not gonna wait. I don't think waiting makes sense.
Cool. Great. Just so you know, I can only feel humanoid presences. So if you're about to be like attacked by like any sort of like assassin vine or anything that might be on the way, especially like plant life or something, I am not going to feel that at all. So maybe maybe have like a source of light, torch. They still have torches, right?
Torches, yeah. Torches still exist.
You should probably grab one of those.
What I will do is there anybody? I know I'm not sort of far away. Not anybody within.
Yeah, I say give a second for everybody to like.
Yeah, does it say his car clocking him talking to himself?
I think so.
Car's
I don't think any
watching with great interest because he's always talking to himself.
I think, and I also think like Riaris probably thinks he's responding in his head. He's not quite sure how this works, so he's probably talking a little loudly too. Just thinking that it's just all internal.
Yeah, I'm probably like
floats over to him as Greg brings him a torch.
I'm probably like looking at him, just eating the food, wondering why he's not eating, just walking towards him as he's just talking.
Yeah, Car's like behind him, cocking his head like, why am I not hearing the spirits?
That's funny. Yeah.
So I'll have the torch in my hand to kind of look over and think, and I'll actually hand it back to Greg and pull out my war pick. I don't think I have my other stuff.
I'm so sorry. You drop it. You drop it on the ground because he's invisible. You can't see Greg at all.
Great. Probably like, what the fuck is this? But probably then pick it up being like, oh god, there's a lot of spirit stuff happening now, and the spirits are telling me to hold this torch, even though I was just gonna like light my war pick with light. But okay, I'm gonna hold the torch instead. And I'll just kind of try to be like, I'm not sure how to explain this, but there's someone over my shoulders. I'm kind of turned back. That I think we need to investigate before we bed down.
Oh,
anybody wants to come with me?
Oh, I'm going. Where?
You need light over there?
Light over there could be good. Yes.
Do they need to be hurt?
I don't know. I think not immediately. They are some sort of humanoid like us. So I don't think it's a creature, but I don't know what it is.
All right. Which way are they? They over there?
They're like there, back there. Yeah.
Back there.
That third tree in that's a little bit small has a not that right over by that.
Right. Are there bushes next to it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna run full speed and jump into that general area.
God. Okay. If I see him running, I take to the sky at least enough to get to a branch above them.
Then I am going to send
canopy, but oh my god.
You're just gonna see me
over there with fireflies.
Wait,
you got it.
Well, then chase after Zed as he goes in.
I'm going
Zed,
for where those bushes.
Zed, give me a luck check.
All right, 1 second.
It has to be higher than a 17, I think.
All right, let's see here. Come on. I got exactly 16.
Take a D4, beginner's luck.
Okay.
You son of a bitch.
And that is a 17. So right on the money.
You got it. You dive into these branches in the smack dab middle of the night, just headlong into what is just a black bush from your perspective. You definitely get some like cuts and scrapes from just jumping into a bush. Also, Riaris kind of gave you like general directions, and then you were like, "Yep, okay, cool." So right there. So as you jump in, you don't take any damage. But you find yourself kind of stuck in a bush for a second, and you don't see anyone around you. Ironically, for everyone else except for Riaris, who just rolled that nat 20. So you guys also don't hear this humanoid creature moving. But Riaris, you do hear in your head, okay, this is your friend that jumped into bush, right? Why'd you don't okay, no, it's fine. They're no longer there, as most people, when you run straight at them, will probably try to move out of the way.
That's what I would have done too. Yes.
Yes.
Where are they? I just want to call out to them. Do you still sense them anywhere?
They're up in the tree right next to the very general area I was telling. Again, I didn't give you a very specific direction. I just said they were in that area, and then your fish elf friend just jumped headlong into a bush in the middle of the night.
I don't know him well. It might be something he does. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we'll deal with that later.
I'll just kind of wherever she had kind of pointed to, up into the tree. Hello. I'm sorry for the aggression. We just want to say hello if you're friendly. Or not.
Riaris, there's nobody here.
Zed.
Huh?
Just quiet.
Mind
Quiet.
infestation go to Zed since he's in the spot I sent it in.
Are you sending an infestation? Is you saying you're sending an infestation?
Yeah, because I have him as fireflies, but I didn't want to do it damagely. I just wanted to try to light up the area with fireflies.
Oh,
so
okay,
we have
gotcha.
A little bit more light.
Yeah, I'd say as you send it into the tree, I'd say at this point there's light in the tree. You don't necessarily see anything at this point. This person rolled pretty dang high on their stealth check here. But Carr, give me a perception check with advantage because you're looking from above.
17 was my highest.
17. Yeah, 17 still. You see a faint outline. You know that there's someone in there. You're not entirely sure who. But Riaris calls out. Does anyone respond?
Hello? And you guys probably hear a faint echo of a voice. Is it safe to come down? I don't appreciate being head launched into a bush first, but...
I think
I will
they're over
have
there.
my war pick. I'll put it down. Yes. Come down. Absolutely safe. We have burnt fish if you're hungry.
But not all of it.
It's, friends, compatriots, I think we're gonna try to talk to this one and not jump at it or send insects at it.
All right,
Yes.
I'm going back to the fire.
I would very much appreciate that. Thank you. And I'm going to slowly clamber down from where I launched myself into a tree.
I will stay up in the tree
Awesome.
over them.
Cool. As you climb down, we see some of the lights from the fireflies just manage to kind of follow with you, sort of spiraling around you as you descend down from the tree. And we see for the first time this figure here. Now, would you please describe Kaelinor for us?
Kaelinor stands probably around 5'10", kind of a lean, athletic build, silvery, ash long hair. There's probably a couple leaves in it right now, and kind of silvery pale eyes. Yeah.
Okay. Important question to know. Kaelinor, what are you currently donning for armor?
Not her usual armor, not the one she kind of will go out with everyone else, just the casual light armor.
Okay, you got it. Cool, awesome. Yeah. So I'd say you see this figure kind of emerging from you in the sort of just from the reflection of the light of the fireflies that are around, and Riaris, your war pick that are on there. Um, uh, yeah. What do you say to each other?
Greetings and felicitations, mysterious stranger. I am Yoon Aurelian, beacon of luck and, practiced conversationalist. Who may I have the honor of speaking to?
You have the pleasure of speaking to Kalinor, Mr. Yoon Aurelian. It is a pleasure to meet you, and I will hold my hand out
Okay.
to shake
Just
yours.
Take it and bow.
Love it.
That is new.
Our fire is yours if you'd like it. These are my compatriots. I'll let them introduce themselves as they are all quite interesting characters.
Yeah, Riaris, I think, is kind of close there. Extend a hand as well and offer. Riaris, nice to meet you, Kalinor. Sorry for that. Sorry if we scared you or not. We're not that. Welcome. Nice to meet you.
Well, I mean, to be fair, she was hiding and scoping you guys out, so I don't know if that's, she was. It's not exactly your. I'm sorry. I'll stop. Just exciting that I actually normally talk like a lot, and you're probably still hearing what I'm saying. So I'm sorry. I'll stop talking.
As Riaz just kind of blankly stares in the distance, listening to this silent moment.
It's like I'm like generally also I'm like what
Kalinor's like, no worries, absolutely fine. I understand. I would have done the same, and just realized Riaris is not paying attention. Goes, okay.
Hello.
Nice.
And Ogra will walk over to you, and she's like pretty taller than you, and comes over and gently like takes your hand, and you can tell she's used to holding back her strength so she can give you not a big handshake but a little one. Hi, my name is Ogra Hoggle. We have fish. I like the burnt side, so you can have the non-burnt side unless that edit.
Why, thank you very much, Ogra. I'd very much appreciate that.
So cut to about a solid minute later, as you were all possibly just watching. I mean, I think most of you have kind of like finished your food for the most part, so you're just kind of like watching Kalinor just eating some food in the dark light. No one's given any sort of like, no one's asked any questions. I think there's just like a solid minute of awkward silence, and we're starting from that scene right here.
All right.
Very casually chewing fish.
Car will land next to her. So good. Car is a vulture-like Aarakocra. And he lands next to you. I'm Car. The jungle's dangerous. How'd you survive?
Hello, Car. I just followed you guys. To be fair, I don't think I did much surviving.
No. And he'll fly back into the crow's nest.
Oh, you should be careful.
And he starts looking around like, she followed us? Oh, God. And other people...
You should be careful. We killed that thing just a few hours, not 20 minutes ago.
You probably saw it. Yeah.
Or was it an hour? Ogra can't. Was it like an hour, or is it like 20 minutes?
It's probably like 20
Sure,
minutes.
20 minutes ago.
Would I have seen said battle?
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's a little. I believe it is a little dangerous to be out here. You guys did a lot. It was all very cool watching you all fight.
Do you live around here?
No. Not really. I am visiting. Kind of.
Oh, me too. It's
I don't think anyone lives around here.
Har sort of
You-
does, right? Ogre does.
Well, we're around. Yeah, around.
Okra lives in the middle. That's where Granny always said we were in the middle of where this is.
I just like the idea of just you and just letting that awkward pause kind of wash over, and it's that's a weird question. No one, I don't think, lives around.
Ooh, speaking of which, you haven't seen people with weird hats with a bunch of goblins, have you?
Maybe? What kind of weird hats?
Yoon, do the thing where it makes magic to make what the hats look like. Or was that Carr who did it?
I think that was Yoon.
Who's Yoon?
Oh yeah, I can do minor illusion. Yes, all right. So yeah, he'll do the same thing he did before. The deck of cards he has in his hands sort of riffle up into the air and form the shape of the hat, like, and kind of there's a little bit of a blur to it to kind of like give you the illusion of that shape, but as it's forming, you can see the kind of cards float up to form it. And he shows you a hat.
You see, Kaelinor, like essentially like a pirate tricorn hat. With Yoon's sort of representation of it, it does kind of takes a second to kind of get an idea of what they're like sort of like trying to go for. But yeah, yeah.
I do recognize the hat. It belongs to a group of people. They call themselves the Order of the Merlin Loke. At least I think that is what Yoon is trying to show. I mean, it's a very piratey tricorn hat, so...
Oh yes, I suppose we should have mentioned that the hat was on a cultist of some kind, so that's probably maybe clearer information. Did they have scrolls on them? The ones we saw had scrolls.
Yes, I believe they tend to carry scrolls to show their devotion. Can I ask why?
They're Okra's clan, her family. They got taken.
Not the cultists, the
No.
goblins that the cultists...
Goblins.
No. Of course it's the goblins. Okra is a goblin.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yes.
Yes.
You sure are.
Of course you are.
Kaelinor, you've never seen the same skin tone, but never seen anything in your life look less like a goblin than Okra.
Is fully gonna accept the blanket statement of like, yeah, of course you are. That's absolutely fine. I see nothing wrong here. And you guys are looking for Ogra's clan, Ogra's family.
It's one of the
Among
things we're
things.
looking
It's
for.
one of the things.
I mean,
Interesting.
I feel like we've missed the most obvious question, which is, why are you following us?
Right.
Well, I may or may not be ex-member of said clan. So when our captain has a very distinct pink hair color, and there were rumors in our troop, and order life wasn't really for me, so I am kind of running away. A little. And I just happened to stumble across all of you. And you guys seem the safest bet to actually kind of get out of here. I'm making my way to Sway and just kind of out of the island itself.
How good are you with spirits as a barback? I might need help.
What a crazy question.
in a world where there are spirits, you're gonna use the other word for spirits.
Yeah.
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 Oh my god.
Good.
I'm gonna use spirits.
Can I ask for some more clarification? What do you?
Sometimes
Yes.
it's best to just nod along with said and
Okay.
just say yes.
Yes.
We'll say I might have a position at a bar and I might need some help with restocking, pouring, cleaning, all that stuff. Maybe.
Wait,
Yeah,
I thought you owned like a tourism company. What is this bar? What?
I didn't even see a bar on the
I'm
ship.
confused.
You
Sylvia!
hear the voice inside your head like, okay, no, the bush makes total sense now. No, sorry. Not even-
Sylvia, where are you?
Sylvia's gone. Sylvia's back at the ship.
I'm just gonna storm off yelling, Sylvia!
Okay, go ahead and roll me a geez. Okay. Wow. Performance check?
All right, let's see. I got a 1.
Oh my god.
Okay. You hear as you scream Sylvia, all of a sudden you hear something call back to you. Sylvia.
I'm gonna be so annoyed by that. I'm gonna try to find where that's coming from, and I'm just gonna
Yep.
Sylvia. And I'm just gonna be
Sylvia.
Sylvia.
This continues on for a solid 10 minutes.
You just see me
Is she
walking off,
unconscious?
just yelling. I get
Ogra-
angry yelling at that,
It'll
and
be
then I
fine.
do a different voice walking off this way, away from the boat.
Ogra, like hearing that this person is with the people who took her clan, has been sitting here in silence, but her fists are like ripping into a fist, and she slowly gets up and like punches her in the face.
Oh,
Punch Kalidor in the face?
Yes.
okay.
I respect it.
I mean, you guys are in a group. I would say that you definitely see Ogre get up in a huff.
So can I
we are still trying
lie
to get
down and
Yeah.
maybe like, no, she knows about them. She knows them. You know about them, right? Yes.
Yes,
You know about them. She might
I
be
know
able to
about
help you.
them.
Were you there?
No, but there's rumors. I think I know where they're
But you were
taking them.
with them. They did bad things. They killed lots of Ogre's family. Ogre left a lot dead and more were taken, and you were with them.
But I wasn't with them. I was back home. In Lots of Fun. I couldn't have been.
Ogre, cults are. How do I put this? It's. The people who end up in cults are usually not choosing to be in the cult. And to leave it is a very strong sign of character. I'm sure she had nothing to do with your family, and she can help us to rescue them. So we should not injure or hurt her.
Yeah, I agree.
I also agree. I think she should probably give us a lot of information to help rescue your family. She will know more than any of us on how to do that.
And I can understand the frustration and the aggression. I too would be upset if someone took my friends and family.
Ogre, there's no one in your family who's ever hurt someone or done something bad?
Well, that doesn't count because that's protecting the bog. Like the man eating plants and the singing mushrooms to put them asleep so we didn't have to hear all the screaming. That was just to help. So they weren't alive when they got eaten by the man eating plants.
Oh, that
That
was a
was-
lot different than I thought.
What?
We had to be safe.
Well, I'll tell you, I would never blame you for those things.
Ogre
Even
didn't
if
do
I
it, that was
had had
Granny.
family go in there, and who knows? The hobgoblins are all over the place. Each person is their own, and owns their own actions and responsibility. You shouldn't be responsible for the actions of your family.
There'd be a lot of accountability to be the sole responsible party of your entire family line.
Let's just say if we can't find your family, then you can hit her. Hit them.
Deal.
I feel like the party getting hit may have a. Okay.
Well, I feel that you're very welcome here, and I very much like the coincidence of you going to the same place that we're going, which I suppose we haven't informed you, but we are going to Chase. Is she going to the? Yeah, are they going to the
She's
same
going to
places?
Sway.
Hey.
Sway is
Sway. Is that-
Sway is the other city that's like kind of like south of Chasavi. But it's
yeah.
I mean it's Chase is on the way
Okay.
to Sway.
Well, then reiterate, or you're going somewhere that's on the way, or our destination is on the way to your destination, and 7 is a lucky number, so we could certainly use one more compatriot.
Wait. 1, 2. Ogre only counts 6. Oh, are you counting muffins as well?
Who is
yes.
Muffins?
At this moment,
you'll-
Zed, give me an acrobatics check.
All right.
Acrobatics, oh boy.
Modded 20.
Mod 20? Okay, awesome. That's pretty good, man. Cool. You only take 2 bludgeoning damage as you do fall down, but you're like kind of like to one, like there's a point where you're actually like you're on one arm and you could make it look like you just meaning to be in that position. You do not find the the bird that is calling for Sylvia in the dead of night.
Damn it.
Sorry, you said a muffins. What is? And Kellen was going to count as 1, 2, 3, 7. That's 6, 7 if we include. The math isn't okay. Okay, I won't ask any more questions.
Is Muffins around?
Muffins, I don't think muffins. Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Ogre, please describe to me or show us what
Because of Christmas.
muffins looks like.
Muffins
Yeah.
look like this. Wait. Where's? And you see him flapping his little wings.
Oh, wow.
You see a giant, like mechanically speaking, large,
Size of a bear.
fluffy brown bear without a head, and butterfly wings, essentially, that are a little too small for his body.
Yeah. That's
Mhm.
It's
That is
it's
Muffins.
Muffins is Ogre's Pegasus.
And what a wonderful Pegasus it is.
Yeah, Kaelinor, give me a nature check.
Okay.
Am I far from everybody?
No, I think you plopped down right in front of everybody.
All right,
Oh,
I'm gonna
that's right.
run
Okay.
and jump on the
Yeah.
side of Muffins and just ignore the smell.
You're gonna jump onto Muffins?
Yeah, like onto the side, feeling the fur and everything.
Oh, okay, you got it. I think it's one of those things where you just like you all of a sudden you're like at least half your body is lost.
Yeah. Because I mean, I was like earlier in the day, half like up to my waist and like inside a fish, so the smell's not
Yeah.
gonna bother me.
Yep. Kaelinor, what'd you get?
15.
Great. Yeah. Definitely not a Pegasus.
Again,
Definitely not.
like Ogre saying she's a goblin, not gonna push it because you know potentially nearly got beaten up. So I'm gonna leave that. Yeah, definitely Pegasus. Whatever you say, definitely Pegasus.
You're
So
doing a
that's
great job
muffins.
with all of this. Just wanted to say, you're doing a great job. You really fitting in.
Riaris, you hear the voice in your head. This is the timeline that we chose to continue to live. This one.
It's a canon
Y'all-
event.
Y'all need to come pet him. He likes pets. I'm just yelling it muffled, so all you hear is.
I think you need to ask first.
I'm
It's
going to
okay.
go back to the crow's nest and continue watching now that it seems like there is not going to be inter-party violence.
Yeah, Cart, give me a this is interesting. I'm going to say give me 2 perception checks.
Okay. So the first one was a 5, but the second one
Okay.
was a nat 20.
Okay, cool.
So
Awesome. So that makes sense. So you're choosing like, okay, I'm sure everybody has this, figured out. I'm out of here. But you heard Kaelinor just followed them. So
yeah.
So when you were flying up to your crow's nest to kind of like look around, that's where the nat 20 comes in. With the nat 20, you take a second, and I think you just sort of, instead of trying to visually kind of scan everything, I think you take a second just to try to essentially sort of like a version of almost like meditation, where you just try to sit and allow the beings that talk to you, allow them to be able to kind of spread out and sort of converse around. With a nat 20, for sure. You see, like there's a rather odd looking owl, not like an Aarakocra, like an actual owl, that has this sort of like a little bit of like a longer sort of beak and snout, and the colors themselves are like a green and orange as it comes down. It's like weird sort of crossover between an owl and a parrot. As you are able to kind of feel that out and kind of spread out those sort of senses, you hear it call out in the opposite direction, Sylvia. Other than that, you guys, you don't foresee any other, like, other than like small little tiny like chittering creatures that are around. I'd say you're probably safe for a good 50 feet around.
Dude, I hear him say Sylvia again.
Yeah, you do hear him say Sylvia again.
I'm gonna stop, and just my head's gonna turn away from Muffins towards where I think I hear it, and start walking slowly.
Okay.
How far away is that owl parrot away from me?
I'd say about maybe 20 feet away.
Sleep.
You got it. Absolutely. Yeah, you say.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent use of sleep.
Do I end up finding this thing?
You absolutely do not. No, he just made his he just put the thing to sleep. You're no longer hearing Sylvia.
Alright, so I'm just walking in a direction saying Sylvia for no reason now.
I mean, I'd say eventually you'd probably recognize you're not hearing anything back, and you're like, next time, bird.
So after that, I'm heading to the ship this time.
Okay.
I'm curious because I don't really know how it works. If I grab the unconscious creature but don't cause it damage, will it stay asleep?
I'd say so. Yeah.
So if I gently
like
take it up and bring it to the party.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, good. So I will gently just like, oh, you adorable thing. No.
Zed, can you roll me a luck roll, please? Because you said you wanted to go to the ship, so I'm going to see if
Alright.
the bird's brought without you there.
I get a 5.
Like, it's just beautiful poetry in motion as you're looking around, just going, Sylvia. And you're moving away as Carr just gently comes down with this small little creature, just in the background, like far enough away where you're continuing. You walk off screen. Beautiful, yeah. You all see this cute little sleeping. Like I said, like this. I guess specifically thinking more of like I guess like a toucan sort of, but like having a flat face.
Okay.
Take that mid-journey, figure that out.
Are we calling it a Powell?
Slides over to the other window.
Ooh, we call it a Powell. Yeah, slides over the other window. Or anyone want to make some fan art? This is where we need fans for this. All right, fan art of the Powell.
So I will light down gently as possible, and walk over to Kaelina. And as I'm keeping this wonderful thing asleep and being very gentle with it, do you recognize this? As I'm trying to make sure it doesn't wake up.
I don't think particularly. No, I don't think you.
No,
Yeah.
that's a bird.
It was sailing. It was saying one of our names and flying away.
Right. Could that potentially be to do with anything that your lovely compatriot, and we'll look around to try and maybe spot Zed off?
Gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
calling
very
out
possible.
a name.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Possible.
Potentially.
And yet you followed us, and so your old friends may be trying to.
True. Didn't think of that. Oh.
I'm paranoid. Very.
No.
I didn't even know you were listening, Carr.
Kaeliner, give me a religion check with advantage.
Okay.
Ogre just has like a light bulb moment. Oh, you were counting Sylvia as the 7th person.
Yes, but I got to meet Muffins, and that was lovely. A 16.
7th.
Well, Muffins is now you're the 8th. Muffins was due to me.
It's fair.
I will happily be the 8th. That's fine.
I think 8's also lucky. It's there's a lot of lucky numbers.
It is also lucky.
By that logic, every number should be lucky in some sort of sense. Sure.
Yeah, what'd you get on the
16.
Religion? 16, cool. What you know about the Merlin Loke is that they tend to, obviously they've gone further inland to be able to rob Ogre's tribe, to kidnap Ogre's tribe. But you also know that it's very rare for them to do that. The river that they are currently in is definitely way too small for the ship that you arrived in to be able to travel down. So you could a platoon of troops be coming this very minute? It's possible, but something tells you it's unlikely. They usually like to stay closer to the water.
Yeah. I think thinking about that, I think Kaelin will kind of just thinks for a moment and goes, it just doesn't make sense why they'd kidnap your tribe. It's...
Well, Ogre ran into them. Ogre was being someplace she wasn't, in this weird, tall sandcastle, and found magic shiny change that when Ogre hand got cut, it healed, but then heard noises, and the mermen, however you say their names, people in the fancy hats, they started coming, and Ogre didn't do anything, and they started shooting at Ogre for no reason. And then, like, Ogre was trying to jump off the giant sand castle on Muffins, and the lady with the bigger hat and the pink hair was shooting at Ogre, so Ogre had to, like, fight back and got her in the eye. And I think that's why that lady's mad at Ogre.
I have a feeling that's why she might be mad as well. Is there any way to make, I don't know if it would be perception or insight, to figure out what Ogre touched? Did Caleb have any knowledge about what magical item?
I was just about to message you. What's funny is that this was in actually Ogre's backstory. And what it is.
Ogre holds up a thing saying these symbols, Ogre drew them, were on the tower.
Okay.
So seeing those symbols, you do recognize those. That is, you are not high enough rank to know what the upper rank people know about that. It is not any sort of affiliation to your people, as far as you know. But you do recognize those. Actually, I'll say now is kind of a good a time as any to say, Kaelan, let me ask you, how long do you think you've been sailing the seas with the Merlin Loke?
Ooh. Probably roughly at least around a year, I would say. Kind of that long time period. It took her a while to get there, but yeah.
Okay, cool, awesome. Then I'm going to say in this at this point, give me your first luck roll. So this is somewhat homebrewy. I know a couple other DMs that do this, but it's just a D20.
Okay.
Let's just go ahead and roll just a D20 for me.
That's a 3.
A 3. Awesome. Cool. You've heard tell of a what would be called an abandoned ruin, or you might have heard it called the like the pink stone ruins. There was no specific name that was given because it was probably like almost like a poker card game sort of level of like conversation between like other sort of like lower sort of members. But yeah, it's an area of like sort of mystery, and it doesn't seem like it's very high on the priority list for the Merlin Loke. Either because they already either know what it is or have already kind of looked into that, or they just assume that it's none of their business.
Okay.
But knowing from them, it's probably more the former.
Verity, okay. I think Ogre showing me those symbols, I just go, I recognize them, but wasn't really spoken about to us. Where I left wasn't high enough to figure that out. I'm sorry I can't be of more help, but it's not something I believe they are concerned with. Don't know if that's a good or bad thing.
It was a really terrible sandcastle. It was really ugly.
You know, I'm not surprised. Yeah.
It's pretty late. At this point, I think it's probably a good opportunity for you guys to decide. Now it's time to sort of hit the hay. There is a little bit of like, Riaris, you're hearing a conversation in your head from Talia. What you know about your people is that they are extremely careful for good reason, and are usually pretty withheld. Like they're not very they're not good at making friends. I think you get that, and I think what you're hearing from Talia is a lot of like that sort of thing, like you're just hearing like, well, maybe because we don't really know anything about her, maybe she she sleeps out in the. She's probably gonna do that anyway, right? She just sleeps out there in the mushrooms, or well, maybe not the mushrooms, but further away. So and you have a knife or something small that you can keep on you while you sleep, right? That's something. And you just see Riaris just nodding.
I think he kind of figured out when others reacted before, like around him and that he's like, they can hear me. So I think you're seeing a lot of nods and like shrugs and like he's trying to be subtle, but he's not very subtle about it.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. All right. So I think this is a good time with Eddie to say that you guys take this. Well, let me ask: do you all let Kaelinor sleep in your encampment?
I think I also offered that she could sleep in the ship if she wants. I feel like it's honestly like what most people would do. It's like a house that you carry with you. It's indoors, like unless you're specifically really tired of the boat and like the sea, or there's something to do on shore, you probably would sleep on the ship. So I feel like Sylvia's kind of got a thing going. But so I'd suggest that if she wants, but also I'm fine with her sleeping in the camp too.
Ooh, Kaelinor, do you sleep on the ship?
I think I'd sleep slightly further away from the encampment. I wouldn't go onto the ship. It feels like encroaching onto somebody's space. So I think she'd set up camp just a little further away so they could keep a watchful eye on, but also not really close to like the ocean line, but kind of close enough to the water as well.
Okay. You got it.
All right. So when I get back to the ship,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna call out for Sylvia. Does she answer back?
No.
No. I'm just gonna be Sylvia. You here? I'm gonna walk down and I'm gonna go under the ship. I'm gonna go towards the back part of the ship, and it just looks like an empty ship. I'm gonna reach my hand around what looks like nothing, and it pulls into like my fingertips just disappear, and I pull a lever, and the whole back is like an illusion that looks like it's empty. And I'm gonna put mushrooms on the shelf, so it's like a what do you call it? Like a cupboard or like a bunch of shelves, and that's where I keep the stuff. But it looks empty when it's shut, so it's just like a little hidden trap door kind of thing.
Okay, I get what you're saying. So you're basically like you're opening a door window to the back of the ship to be able to put those things in, and then having it shut. Okay, yeah, I'll allow that. That's totally fine. I love that
Compartment in there.
Yeah, a little smuggling
like
compartment.
Later times when they had like,
I like it.
I'm putting the mushrooms in there, and then I'm going back and I'm going onto one of those little bed things that Ogra made.
Okay, you got it. Cool. So we'll say, you don't have an ogre bed.
Ogra would walk over there and make her a moss bed, but without the lavender.
Okay. So it just kind of reeks.
Just scrapes stuff off the tree and just throws it on the ground, kicks it.
It's extremely moist.
Why do you think I'm in a hammock?
Yeah.
Looks at you at the hammock's like, smart move. I do. Thank you, Ogra. I appreciate it.
Cool. And so we'll say with that, you guys all bed down for the night, and take your first long rest of the campaign.
Wow, I didn't even realize that. Awesome.
Enjoy. With that, as you all are resting peacefully, somewhat peacefully, in the encampment, we're going to take this moment to take our 10-minute break. See you guys in 10. Bye. All right. We are back. So, morning comes. No one, Riaris, you immediately awaken and just go as you realize no one has killed you in your sleep, which is exciting. You all kind of gather. You all kind of gather up to see Sylvia coming to the deck of the ship, descending down across the water, kind of like floats on top of it, and just kind of steps down to the beach. Good morning, everyone. Oh, it's a beautiful day. Riaris, Yoon, Ogra, Kar, Zed. What? What's this?
Good morning, Sylvia. This is our new friend, Kaelinor. She was following us in the woods, and we met her last night.
I have a good
Riaris, can I
feeling
talk to you
about
for a
them.
second? Can I talk to you for a second, Riaris? Just over here. Just
Oh,
one
sure.
second.
Okay.
Just a second. So, I just want to make sure I understand, because I just woke up, so it's, maybe I'm missing something. Someone was for sure following you in the rainforest, in the dangerous rainforest, decided to follow you, and you let them spend the night in camp?
That is true. Yeah.
Okay.
As opposed to killing her, she has not acted aggressively towards us. It's strange. I'm not sure I agree with what you're saying.
It's just interesting that she still has her weapons and isn't, tied up in any way.
That's true. My thought a little bit is that anybody that can survive in the jungle is probably pretty worthy fighter or skill set to have. I think. Yeah, there was a lot of trust. I kept watch a little bit. They stayed in their own spot.
Okay.
Here we are. We're all alive.
All right.
So
well, we are all alive. That's true. Okay. All right. I guess let's go say hi. Hi. Hello. Kaelinor, right? That's an elven name.
I think you're muted.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
you
you're
might be
muted.
Muted.
All right, now you are officially welcome to the crew. With that, yeah, it's all right. We all do it.
I just did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're still muted.
We're still not able to hear you.
Oh, audio trouble. That's another. That's the mark that on the.
Now
the
you're
bingo
really
sheet.
in the crew. Actually, where's the?
Womp, womp, womp.
Are you guys hearing the sound effects?
Yeah, I can hear it.
There we go.
The birds.
Okay, cool, awesome. Yeah, we get something under here.
I just want to show you the picture I drew of that bird Kaw brought to camp.
Do this one. Now, if you want to jump out and jump back in, could be that. I'm also not hearing the music, though, which is bad.
I can hear it.
That's good. I'm glad you guys can.
Hello?
Yep, there we go.
There we go.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, we love tech troubles.
It happens. No big deal.
Yes.
So we'll take it right from there. So that's an elven name.
It is an elven name. And your name?
Um, you can call me S for now, if that's okay with you. What are you doing? What did how how'd you come by here?
I was traveling with some other elves, and I decided to, well, in lack of a better terms, make a break for it. I saw an opportunity and decided it was finally time to dip on out of there.
Dip on out, as in the Merlin look. You're a tide guardian.
Yeah. I was. Yeah, it's complicated.
Okay, cool. Is there anything that you can? Obviously, the rest of this crew is good with you, which is saying honestly nothing. What?
One of them did threaten to punch me yesterday. And so if that eases any worries. I doubt it does.
No, well, a little bit. Well, no, sorry, no. Okay. Can you give me something to... Do you know why we're here?
No, I don't think so. All I know is Ogre is looking for a clan. Wait, why are you here?
Okay. Give me a persuasion or deception check, whichever applies. And you don't need to tell me which.
Okay. That is a 14.
Okay. 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 This is way too early for this, but I'm going to give you another chance to answer that question for me. Do you know why we're here?
No. Genuinely, no.
Okay. All right. Well, everybody ready to go? Back on the ship?
Were you having this conversation right in front of us?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, right in front of you. Yeah.
Right. Zed called out the name Sylvia like 100 times last night. I told you I have
heavy
a
sleeper.
good feeling about her.
Wait, so I heard her say she's a heavy sleeper.
Yeah.
Who was mocking me? If it wasn't you, Sylvia, who was it?
Oh, there's a bird.
A bird?
Yes.
What bird?
I look around. I'm assuming it's left by now. It's probably woken up and left.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, absolutely.
So I was like, it's gone.
Actually,
Carl
here.
brought down this beautiful baby Powell. Did you miss it?
You didn't see it?
Yeah.
We all saw it.
It was gorgeous. It was so unique.
Stunning.
It's one of the best things I've ever seen in my life.
The color palette?
I know,
What?
and it had a flat face. It was pretty.
I know a lot of
adorable in an
birds, but I'd
ugly
never seen
way.
anything like that before.
So
That was-
you're telling me that there was
How'd you miss
another
that?
bird that could talk?
I'm not a bird. Or is there a third one?
What?
Here,
So-
Zed, have a cup of coffee.
What? What was mocking me? And how come I didn't get to see this beautiful bird you speak of?
Okay. All right. Let's try Yoon this time. Yoon, can I borrow you for a second over here? Just
Of course.
you see, she goes over to the side. Just 1 second. This. What are you doing?
Increasing our odds of success at the same time as making us less predictable.
That's certainly less predictable. Yeah. Okay. I'll give you that. But it's okay. I understand that I don't know everything about the situation, especially regarding you and whatever this is going on right now, right? But she's not telling the truth. She's not giving us everything. I know that.
Well,
and she's an elf, and if you're aware, that's how this whole thing sort of got started. We were being tracked down by, well, sorry, actually specifically, Ogre was being tracked down by the Merlinlokes, and this situation is what started this whole thing of you all turning up dead. So my job was to try to get you out of that situation into a place where you can hopefully be away from that ever having to be a thing again. We were going to go see Chase. I was never. I have no idea what the deal is with Ogre or anything with this. I assumed that we would get to Ogre's place, and it turns out that they were all like asleep or something. I don't know, or they all left on vacation. I knowing that she's now here, trying to possibly track us down. That's a threat.
Well, we're surrounded by threats, and it seems like it's very unlikely for us to survive. And if we want to be on the least probable timeline, then we should do the improbable. And inviting a stranger into the group, knowing nothing about them, is very improbable.
I love it. So sorry. She
that
like
makes so much sense.
yeah. She like it in some way. It does. Like she's like, oh, okay. You think if we do things at random, then okay.
Where's the
No.
chaos, baby?
Yeah, that might work in your in. I can't exist there. Yoon. I have visions of the future, and I've seen things of the past that I wasn't around for. I can't exist in that improbability sort of space that you're in. Okay. All right. You know what? I know I'm not a part of this forever, so all right.
As for her lies, there's a saying. It's that the best way to clear up muddy water is to do nothing. If she has something to say, she'll say it eventually. If you press her, she's only going to hide it more. If there's only one road, take it with a smile.
I hope you're right.
I'm sure I'm probably almost certainly right. Probably.
Yeah, for the sake of possibly human existence itself, or I hope you're right. All right. Okay.
Welcome aboard.
Really feeling the welcome.
This damn bird, really? That was mocking me? I didn't even get to see it.
we cut to we see Kaelinor, I think from this version we see Kaelinor just giving this like sort of like awkward smile saying feeling welcome, and there's just a like this sort of transition where it's their same like face and like area, but the background changes to all of a sudden you guys are now back on the ship, so it's been like hours later. And Kaelnor is still kind of like just sitting there while Zed, I think, is just running around as everybody is now in their ship sort of positions here, which is not a
Video
real
game
like you
logic.
guys.
Oh yeah.
Well, you guys aren't. Yeah, you guys aren't in necessarily any specific spot on the ship. You guys haven't necessarily chosen positions yet. So,
Ogre,
we'll
before
say.
we
I mean, this is the
left,
second part of the journey. Yeah, go ahead.
has taken a bunch of mud and dirt and just put it in a corner where she's going to be staying.
A corner on deck.
Probably she doesn't want to go below deck.
Okay, you got it. So there's just a pile of mud on the side. Killer, you're just like looking at that. What is Zed doing?
I'm going to sneak under deck without anybody seeing, and I'm gonna go to my secret like hole in the hull, and I'm going to grab one of the mushrooms out, just one of them, and I'm gonna pocket it.
Okay. Give me a stealth check.
I got a 19.
Cool.
No one's gonna find my hidey hole.
Okay. Yeah, with a 19, I think that beats anyone's passive perception. So yeah, you just go down. You see, Kaelin, you do see like I think you see Zed just like, I'm gonna go below deck, and just like giving like a weird sort of look, and then just ducking down under.
Okay.
I think
Right.
like you're just seeing everyone. We're seeing everybody from Kaelinor's like perspective right now on the ship. So like so we see Zed, we see
Probably just walks and then.
yep, and then just go straight down. We see Ogre like making sure she's got her spot of dirt in the corner. You've been on ships for at least a year. You've never seen a dirt pile before. But you've also never been on like a ship this size. This ship is significantly smaller. It's like a fishing ship. Where do we see Riaris?
Yeah, I think Riaris would have been kind of sort of patrolling the boat a little bit, and as soon as he kind of sees or hears Zed going down, he just kind of sees the autopilot sign come up, whatever, and kind of sighs. He's gonna go over to Kaelinor to talk about whatever weapon he might have seen that she might have had to discuss that, but instead he will now go to the helm and be like, "All right, driver training. Let's do this. I'm gonna step up here," and that's where he would be.
It's still
Cool.
anchored. He's just like.
They're like,
You
yeah,
see-
not trusting to be like this thing. Yeah.
You see, because I think you're now in full contact with your patron, so to speak. We'll say for now, with Talia. So you're in like full contact with Talia the whole time. So I think you're like walking up to Kaelinor and like talking with your hands. And then you like stop and you just walk past them. It's like changing your mind. Like, never mind. Go.
Okay.
No. So you go back up there. So
Yeah,
Kaelinor,
like
you
an
see
awkward,
that?
like, see, I don't. What does Kaelinor describe the weapon Kaelinor has? Like, what do you have? Or I don't know if you
It
described
is.
that.
I didn't know it's a double-bladed scimitar.
Yeah, I think right, and exactly like kind of seeing that, go to look and stop, and then just conversation takes him and just absentmindedly, just shit, something else to do.
Okay.
Where's Car?
Carr is probably on the highest mast, but not in the crow's nest because he feels like the non-flying people might want the crow's nest, but he still wants to be at top. So he's on the mast, on one of the top masts, watching. He may as well be in the crow's nest, but he's not. So if somebody else wants it, have it. He'll pop down again. He's still intrigued by the fact that people are talking to him, so he'll pop down now and again and just be like, "Hi," and see if he can start a conversation. And when it's over, he'll go back up and So
give me a luck roll.
Roll.
One of you. Both of you. We'll have you both give me luck rolls.
Who's both of us?
Carr and Kaelinor.
Got it. Okay.
Oh. It's a nat 1.
And I also rolled a nat 1.
Oh my god.
The social awkwardness between these two characters.
Oh my god. What?
I got a middle school dance boy on one side.
Oh my god, that's funny. I mean, we all see in our heads what that looks like, right? Carr, you like call out hi as soon as there's like a large like sort of like roar from a distant animal, and you turn and look around. Kaelinor, you look in that direction. Carr's head is completely in the opposite direction. You think that maybe Carr had said something to you, and Kaelinor, you're responding to it.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Like, hi.
At that moment, Carr, you look back around and you hear like a stick breaking from the other side. And you hear a voice inside your head start to talk to you, as you're not entirely sure if Kaelinor actually greeted you or not. And just with that, there's just too much going on. I think you just fly back up.
Yeah, I mean, Carr is used to not being talked to, like, at all. So he's like, hi. All right. And flies back up, like, all right, whatever.
That's pretty usual.
I could not write that. That's so good. Finally, Yoon, what's Yoon doing?
I think, I mean, if Carr's not on the crow's nest, I think he might be up there. He wants to be at a place where he can kind of observe everyone, kind of what everyone's doing, and he's kind of looking down at everyone, looking at a particular card, the Six of Winds. And I think he's just kind of smiling at all the kind of things that are going on, and has a little bit of a wistful look in his eye. And when he sees Zed go down, he does start to climb down to handle the autopilot. But then he sees Riaris walking. He's got it. All right, and just continues to sit up top and just watch people and play with his cards and kind of look at that Six of Winds.
Okay. Kaelinor, you see Yoon up there just staring at a card. Clearly in his own head. And last you see is you're like trying to get a vibe of like who to talk to or to at least be able to cling to, and you look directly now at this point, just like kind of possibly just coming up from like under deck, like just shouting at Zed, Zed, just say please move. That's all you have to say. And then you just like make eye contact as if like just across the deck, and you see Sylvia just looking at you, and then just turns and walks away.
Right. Okay. Never felt more out of my depth than now, but it's fine. It's gonna be okay. And I think she kind of steels herself a little bit, kind of heads to bow the fishing, like just like to kind of look over the side to like kind of look at the ocean, and be like, this is it's all gonna be okay.
Kaelinor, welcome to the crew. Please give me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, do I have? Okay.
Do I have to?
I have to.
I've heard that before. Yes.
Oh, no.
I've heard no. Do I have to? Yes.
So that is a nat 1, but +1 is 2.
What is?
You rolled 2 in a row?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, get him out now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
it's not
do
my
you-
first session too, so
Yeah, well, that's true. What are you staring at?
I think I'm staring at kind of looking at my reflection in the ocean, but my eyesight kind of just going past that slightly and just kind of just staring into the depths of the kind of water.
What are you thinking in this moment?
Everything, but nothing. I think the thoughts running through her brain, it's not even thoughts at this moment. It is just emotion and feelings. It is, never has she been somewhere where she hasn't been well received, and that's thrown her, and then she starts to think about what she's doing and why she ran, and it just kind of continues to spiral and spiral until she kind of starts thinking of like a snake-like figure as it just builds.
You see this figure that starts out in your mind as a representation of your imaginative sort of thought begins to move away from the constraints of your mind, almost as if it takes on its own sense of control. The figure looms up from the water. You see a nasty barnacle encrusted seaweed dripping off the side. This giant skull facing you. The skull itself seems to be attached to this creature that doesn't fit the frame. You hear a voice that is clearly not this creature's voice, but it's familiar to you. You hear it kind of softly repeating something. Finally, you hear what the voice says as you hear this phrase. Walk the currents. What do you say to it?
She kind of, in shock and pure response, will go, he will whisper. And it's just kind of not even consciously, like it's all subconscious immediately, and it's kind of terrified for a brief moment.
You see the figure loom closer and closer. The tip of its nose about to touch the bow. And then you hear a voice interrupt your thoughts. Everything okay?
Fine. And she'll kind of like see if she's kind of like cried a little, just like, no, I'm fine.
Okay. I need Well, Zed needs someone to help with the rigging. I assume you know how to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And just makes a beeline towards the rigging, grabbing their stuff. Just doesn't entertain conversation.
You got it.
Hey, Barback, not that one. That one over there.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the wrong one. One over there.
Whatever.
What did you see?
Right.
A ghost?
Something like that. And just get started on some rigging.
Okay. I'd like everybody to give me a perception check.
$14.
15.
17.
Dirty 20.
Riaris, you're
Not one.
you and now are you kidding me?
No.
For a 12?
You're like looking up over everything, being like, "Looks great, man."
Excited.
Ah,
I just rolled it
hair
several
in my
times today, so I'm
feathers.
just not rolling ones, and I'm not. I'm rolling other things, but that perception check wasn't that one.
We had two people today roll back-to-back nat ones.
And a follow-up
All right.
now.
I think we're done for today, guys. I think we're gonna call it here. Just
Starting
kidding.
off the year well.
It
I mean,
wasn't
it's 1-1
even Zed
after
doing
all,
it.
you know.
Guys,
We don't-
roll
we don't-
right now. See if you guys get another set of ones.
No, don't even
Magic
touch.
rolls.
Don't touch the dice. We're not playing with dice anymore. Just kidding.
New game.
Rock, paper, scissors.
New game. Riaris, you and Yoon are closest here. Do you think, with a dirty 20, you definitely saw something in Kalinor's demeanor change? I think you were aware that she was kind of facing the back of the ship, or you said the bow, right? So facing the front of the ship there, and you see her turn away. Or sorry, you see them turn away, see them wipe their eyes. You caught all that. Yoon, I think you caught it too.
When Riaris sees Zed come back up, he would motion, Zed to take the helm or something, and just Zed, your autopilot's not working. Maybe you gotta tweak it a little bit. Still need to work.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, check it out.
Takes
Yeah,
the sign off. Side. Just
got it.
grabs the wheel.
I
kicks
think
the,
I probably. No, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say kick the block for the anchor to raise so we can start sailing.
The anchor's been down the whole time.
we haven't gone anywhere.
It's just been going real slow, like when you have
Real
the e-brake
slow,
on.
yeah.
Yeah, so these quick
Yeah.
Riaris is like, I wonder why it's been so sluggish. That makes sense.
Yeah, incredible.
And I think then I would head down towards Kalinor, probably seeing Yoon coming down wherever you are. Maybe we're getting there at the same time or not. I don't know what Yoon's doing. But I would probably head towards Kalinor.
Yeah, if I see him, I'm gonna. I would step back, let him have kind of a moment if he's gonna talk to her, then rather than us both kind of, crowd around or something.
I would go up to Kalinor, tying off some of the ropes, and I think it would say, "You do that a lot better than I do. I've just learned recently. Not very good at that."
Thanks. I've had a year of full practice. I mean, I can show you a trick if you like to tie them.
I want to say that would be nice, and I also want to be honest that my goal would not to be on a boat whenever possible. So I'm sure that'll be useful. Thank you. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks. Yeah, I know we don't know each other, and to be frank, the rest of us met each other yesterday or 2 days ago, so we don't have a lot of history. Are you okay? I thought maybe I saw something. I might not have. I have senses going. You all right?
I wasn't, but I think I might be. Who knows? Time will tell. But I appreciate the concern genuinely. For people who haven't known each other very long, you've all got some incredibly close bonds, and her eyes kind of dart to each kind of member of the party she kind of sees.
It's definitely hard to explain. Part of me feels like I've known them all for a lot longer than I have. And maybe that's because we have. I learned yesterday I've died many times, so who knows? Anyway, that's a lot. Sure, you want to show me that knot, or I can do something else. That's better.
Yeah, and she kind of shows the little neat kind of rope kind of trick that she learned to kind of get out of chores and like daily things to just kind of be like, here's a really quick way of tying the knot. If you kind of make this double loop and knot it round, kind of tie it really tightly, then you don't have to go over the double knots. Easy as a breeze, just like tying a shoelace.
That is great. I always felt when I was on the boat that they were telling me the worst possible way to do things, and I feel like your way is a lot easier. I really appreciate that.
It's really to kind of get the calluses built and like kind of make those kind of at the bottom of the heap do all the grunt work. And kind of like when you kind of raise up in ranks, you kind of learn the neat little tricks. And you get someone else to do it for you. That's also helpful, but you know.
So that means you've raised up in ranks a little bit where you were before?
Not really, but my brother kind of did a little. I was his grunt, arguably. I would do all the, part of my language, shitty chores. He'd be able to pass off to kind of me, and yeah.
It sounds like a good sibling. I used to do that to my brothers and sisters too, so. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Your siblings sound lovely. You must miss them? You're traveling alone, I'm assuming, with the rest of...
I am, yeah. It's a weird story. I lived by them, but I haven't seen them for quite a while. So I've kind of got over the shock. I do miss them, for sure. But part of me knows doing what I have to do is also good for them. So that's what I kind of try to rely on. I don't get to see them.
Duty is an important thing. No, that makes complete sense.
Absolutely.
And she...
The most important thing.
Yeah. Duty above all else. And she continues tying the riggings and getting to work on whatever other tasks Zed has available to kind of do.
Probably stay, tie, and walk off at some point, you know.
You, Riaris, as you walk off, you have to stop suddenly, and you've never been more challenged by looking like everything's okay. As you see a shimmery image, just a humanoid shape appear before you. You've never seen this before, and you hear the familiar voice of Talia. You know why you're here. She is the key. Do not let her out of your sight.
I will awkwardly acknowledge that and definitely glance over at Kaelinor.
You look back.
And look back as the figure disappear as it kind of fizz out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, shake of head, almost like, oh, what the fuck? Okay, right, duty is what we have to do. Go.
Okay. Over the next few hours, I'd say about 5 in total, you guys continue to work about the ship. feel free to tell me what you're doing. This is a free time sort of moment of you guys being able to kind of, if you want to have a conversation with someone, now's the time. If you want to just state what your character's sort of working on, you can do that, whatever you choose.
I think Yoon waits a little bit, but then he does go and try to find Kalinor. Also, just so I don't mispronounce it, Kalinor or Kalinor?
Kalinor, but
Kalinor.
either is
Nope,
fine.
I want to say it right.
Okay.
So he goes and finds Kalinor. Kind of asks, Kalinor, I was looking for you. Would
Hi,
you
you.
indulge me for a minute?
Of course.
So he has his deck with him, and he fans it out. Just says, pick a card.
That one.
The Jack of Flames. And indulge me again, pick one more card.
That one. Goes to the other side of the deck.
And he kind of flourishes it and brings it out. The King of Winds. You know what those mean?
I actually do not.
Well, I've been using the cards to tell fortunes and to for other normal mundane gambling purposes for a long time. And the Jack of Flames and the King of Diamonds indicates that a group of people are going to a destination. The winds are traveling. And the king is a very strong card, so it's a very important destinied destination. And then the flames represent emotion and friendship. Those two cards together indicate that a group of people are going to a shared destination and that they will be good friends. And that's something I believe wholeheartedly. And I trust that you are a member of that group. If there's anything ever that you need, or perhaps anything that you've been somehow compelled not to talk about, just give me a wink and a nod, and I'll give you a suggestion to share it with the group. All right, well, you have a nice day.
Thank you. Thanks, Yoon. I appreciate it very much.
It was lovely talking to you. And he'll wander off.
Kalinor, give me a history check.
Okay. A dirty 20.
Okay. You don't realize until this moment, Yoon is a hobgoblin, or in this area we call him a Loa, right?
Loa,
Is that right?
just Loa.
That in the range of actually recognizing there was a lot that happened last night, but Aurelian is a relatively important last name. I would say it's not necessarily famous, but it is one that, with a dirty 20, you get the feeling that Yoon is also very far from home.
Okay.
As you know, most Loas, specifically anyone with the last name Aurelian, would be from Ferran, which is a island south of here.
Okay.
So
She steals that information for a brief moment till next time she kind of get a glimpse at Yoon and go, interesting.
I think if I may too, there's a certain point. I think you, there's a point where like I think the mast, you'll learn very quickly. Nav, I have no idea what boats do, but there's a point where you see the oh, what's it called? I did know this one.
The boom arm or something
The
like
boom,
that?
yeah, like the
Yeah,
boom.
the boom arm.
There's a certain point where the boom actually like is being swung by Zed, and Yoon doesn't duck. It just happens to like right over his head.
I think she would like kind of intently stare, noticing that moment. Kind of just stares at Yoon a little bit closer. Yes.
I'm gonna say with that dirty 20, I think you also, because you don't cover this up. Can you describe what's in your neck?
Right. There's just 3 small, almost like points of light, like little stars, kind of across in a line on his neck. And depending on what's happening, sometimes they look like tattoos, like almost, but sometimes they actually sort of have a little bit of starlight to them. You can see in the right light, they kind of glint.
It's at this moment that I think, Ogra, you realize that Kaelinor has gotten dangerously close to your dirt pile.
Have I noticed that I've got dangerously close to the dirt pile?
I don't think you do. It's up to you.
No.
I think you could roll
No,
for it
I
if you
don't think
want. But yeah.
I don't think I did.
Distance is dangerously close.
Is he watching the
Ogre's
boom
just
go
like-
over his head?
Ogre's in a corner of where the thing is and with her dirt pile and has one on her staff on the ground, but it's like death grip on like the railing of the ship. So, because she does not, you can tell she obviously does not like being on the water, and you can see her toes like doing this to the mud like a soothing technique, and you almost hear a little growl. And then she's just trying to close her eyes and try not to think she's on a ship.
Amazing.
If you hold your breath, Ogre, for like, I believe it's 5 and then out for 8. It's a cool, neat trick that helped my good friend Naira with motion sickness. And as I kind of say that, I've realized I'm a little too close to the dirt pile, and I take kind of a big step away, and I'm like, but feel free to do as you would like.
She's gonna slowly get up and very gently, but obviously she's going to put both hands on your shoulders, but gently pick you up so you're eye level with her and bring you pretty close. Ogra
Hello.
may not be smart, but she is not dumb.
I did not mean to imply that.
No. Ogra needs you to look her in the eye and say you're telling the truth. That everything you said last night was not a lie.
Everything I said last night wasn't a lie.
Insight check.
Go for it. Persuasion or deception, Kaelinor.
It's a 6.
16.
Okay. In this moment, actually, this is actually a really kind of cool sort of spot for Kaelinor to do something cool if you would like.
Always.
Ogre is holding you, obviously dealing with motion sickness. If you are willing to spend I believe it's 5 hit points for lay on hands.
Yes, could I spend, lay on hands
You absolutely can if you would like to cure her motion sickness.
Absolutely, I will.
Okay. So Ogre, in this moment, as you're trying to like get an understanding of how someone could have ever associated themselves with a family, a tribe that would not only attack your tribe, but to steal them away, to take them away from their home. How could anyone ever be associated with that? I'd like you to roll an insight check again, but I want you to roll it on yourself.
Of course you do that now. Nat 20. So it'd be a 23.
Amazing. The dice telling the story, guys. You realize that as you're holding Kaelinor up, you see her. You see them put a hand on your shoulder, and a small white light kind of just gleams from it. Or actually, Kaelinor, if you want to explain to me what it looks like.
I think it's a kind of a white light with kind of blue, kind of little, not sparkles to say, but kind of hints and motes of little blues as well. Similar to that of the ocean, but kind of a lake water vibe instead.
Ogre, you with a nat 20, you recognize that there are many things looking at your shirt, your shield, pants. Many of the things that you now carry belonged somewhere. And while you considered it trade, in this very moment, you start to wonder if maybe there was not much choice given in that trade to begin with. And wondering if I, Ogre, wasn't aware of what I was being a part of. Maybe this person that I am holding up helplessly by the shoulders also have to be given the same benefit of the doubt.
And she will gently put you down.
Thank you.
Okra is sorry. Okra doesn't like getting that way. It's not what Okra was taught.
I think I'd be quite upset if one of my family or my tribe got hurt or injured in any sort of way. So, I understand. And I will do everything I can to help you get them back.
And like with Yoon, she's gonna hold out her pinky.
Okay. I will try my very best.
And you can't break it. And if you do, I'll punch you in the nose.
Okay.
That was
Seems
a joke.
like...
That was a joke.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I will... Okay. I will try my very best. And if I do end up breaking it, you have free range to punch me in the nose. Joking or not so, but thank you.
Thank you. Ogre will try your breathing thing and just go.
And then breathe out. It's and hold for 3 and then let out for 5. And I kind of coach it through some breathing exercises.
Yeah,
I'm just like,
there was a good second. The first or second time, Ogre just seems to forget the letting out of breath, I think. Yeah.
And then breathe out.
That actually
Any
does
better?
feel better. It does. You should try putting your feet in the dirt. It's actually pretty calming too.
You know what? I will. Yeah, sure. And we'll take off boots and socks, and then just kind of step slightly into said dirt and be like, it's pretty comfy actually. Kind of
We
stamp in the dirt a bit.
love it. We pull back from this scene to Zed as Zed is steering the ship. Zed, you have no idea that Sylvia is behind you, I don't think, as Sylvia goes. There she goes, just getting buddy with everybody.
What? Who?
Oh, sorry. I was talking to myself.
Oh, I do that sometimes. I got weird screams going in my head. What are yours saying?
Zed, no, you know what? Yeah. A lot of stuff. Why don't you tell me about the screams that go on in your head?
Yeah, it's at that point his face starts to go dull again, and just plain,
Mhm.
and it's just his mouth moving. There's no emotion or anything to his face. And he's like, there's women and children screaming, men fighting, dying. There's familiar voices, but not so familiar. Screaming, laughing. And then there's a voice from the heavens coming down. It's louder than the others. It's almost a feminine voice. And then right then and there, it almost sounds like there's a feminine laugh coming from his own mouth. And then he just freezes, and you just see the hair on the back of his neck just stand up. He's not steering the ship. The ship's just going straight however he's holding the wheel, and he's just like frozen there.
You see a relaxed sort of a relaxed face of Sylvia, just truly wanting to what's the word? Allowing you to kind of punch yourself out, I guess is the way. And then you say that, and all of a sudden you see her face very much change. Oh my God, Zed. I understand what you're doing here now. You've met her, haven't you?
At this point, would he have like heard her like snapped out of it?
Up to you.
She'd probably like have to like actually like put like a hand on him or something for him to snap out of it. Probably because of how deep he is.
Okay. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, she said, come on back.
Probably the snap out of it. It's like that damn parrot bird owl thing. I thought it was you mimicking, making fun of me, and I didn't even get to see it. Can you believe that?
It's would it be fair to say that Sylvia is seeing you like disassociate?
Yeah.
Don't worry. We're gonna find that bird, okay?
All right. Anyways, what were you saying?
Looks over at Kaelinor, who's now just fully putting her feet. guess it doesn't matter in the long run.
Would you mind holding the wheel for a second?
Sure. Is that all I have to do? Is just hold it?
Yeah, I'm trying to guide her like the longest straight way possible.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You spend about a minute teaching her how to steer.
All right, and then I'm gonna run up to the bird's nest.
Okay.
And I'm going to I thought I had it. What is it? Create water. So there is like a distance between the actual water, then there's the water I'm creating, and then me and the crow's nest. And I'm gonna jump off the crow's nest, dive into the water, and then jump out the side of it, dive in the water, just to try to like shake myself of what I went through.
I love
Just
it.
a little adrenaline rush to kick it out.
I thought you were
You
gonna
make your own water
like
slide.
water balloon Sylvia.
No. I mean, as I dive out into the regular water, there's probably quite a good amount of water coming down towards the deck.
Yeah, the water has to go somewhere once you're out of sight of it. Yeah, so it just I think in this, because I just think it's just too fucking cool not to. It like splashes all around you, Yoon, but not a drop of it touches you. Car, you do see Zed come up to the crow's nest at that point, and then immediately kind of like jumps off. But you do see that.
Yeah. And I'm just like, all right. I mean, we're a bunch of strange people, but he's the one probably Carr understands the least. So
Yeah.
he's just like, check.
Awesome. Carr, give me a perception check.
Oh God.
I'm trying to renew.
Did he make it in the water?
You can look at
Dude.
Beyond.
Oh my God, man! What is
that-
happening?
Dude.
That one.
I think your D&D Beyond might be broken.
No, because I was rolling it after that. I was rolling all kinds of numbers.
Oh my
Stop.
God!
Oh.
That's crazy.
There you
And
go.
Zed drowns,
Go
and we
tell that
have
story.
don't have a captain anymore.
You're the like the karmic opposite of Yoon's luck is pulling from you.
It's
Right?
pulling
And
from,
you're just
yeah.
doing that one after that one.
Incredible. Okay, cool. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, you're I think you're preoccupied with whatever Zed is doing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
Zed, you've probably done this before. I don't think there's any role that like needs like you're just trying to kind of wake yourself up. I don't think
Yeah,
there's
no, probably when I was younger, I just kept doing that just for fun. So it's like I'm doing like a double, what do they call it? Like a double high dive.
Yeah, I love that. Cool. Yeah. Sweet. So as there's a splash of water, you guys have been traveling for about 5 hours today. And at this point, in the middle of the day, you start to see palm trees begin to change their shape and texture a little bit. From the outside, the palm trees that are able to exist and live have to be rather large and thick, and they're existing sort of separately. But now, as you go into the sort of deeper part of the jungle, you start to notice that everything seems to be a little more grouped together. The trees themselves seem to be bent towards this river on both sides. You notice faint rustling in the trees, those that are on deck. And I'd say about maybe 5 minutes after experiencing that, of seeing like the faint rustling, whatever, you see a figure. Car, you're the only one that doesn't see it, I'll say. You see a figure start to goes right into the spot of the sun, like goes right in and silhouettes against the sun and starts to kind of swoop down. And you see there are two others that are behind. As you see them get closer, you see these hairier sort of bodies. You can see they have these wings, but they look odd, almost like they're like made up of like some sort of membrane or whatever. As this three of these creatures move past, and then one lands right on the deck. None of you recognize this figure, except for maybe Ogre. So Ogre, give me a history check.
Good luck with that.
I should say a nature check. Excuse me, nature check.
Okay, nature, that's a little bit better. 12 minus 1 would be an 11.
11. Cool. Awesome. You know the settlers of Matan are some sort of version of a split between humanoid and like ape-like. A couple of them can fly. They have like flying membranes that like seem to be able to allow them to be able to glide down from where they are. Yes, indeed, these are Hadozi. As you see these, this main figure kind of gets up, just lands, stands up tall, probably about maybe 6'3", 6'4", very, very kind of built, very much like kind of like the Planet of the Apes sort of style, like the big beard and all this stuff. Looks around and goes, "Turn round. Turn round."
Ogre just turns around in a circle.
Do you think this ship can turn around in this tiny little waterway?
Turn round.
May I ask why?
You know Hadozi. Mahil say turn round.
Does Carr recognize this race?
Actually, I think Carr does.
Do the Aarakocra have any kind of a relationship with the Hadosi?
I think so. I think in Matan, it's something where I don't know if you've necessarily visited Matan before, but you've probably visited other places that are similar to this. Hadozis have their language is fully based on necessity, right? So it's very kind of like rudimentary, like there's no but I don't think you know the language, but you know that because their language that they speak seem to be very like pointed, that any sort of common that the Hadozi knows would have to be the same.
Okay. May I assume at this point with the conversation I'm aware of
Yeah, I think so.
Even with my one.
Yeah. You actually see there's two that have like clung to either side of the palm trees, and now you can see why the palm trees are actually like leaning further in. This is a normal spot for them to hang out. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I will fly down unthreateningly. So like not really close to the Hadosi. I'll just light down from the one of the planks, not the planks, the masts, and I will approach the Hadosi.
Okay.
Probably at this point, I'm just mimicking whatever he says in Elvish.
Okay. You got it.
And I believe there is one person that speaks Elvish on the ship besides me?
I do.
Oh, you speak Elvish?
I do. You may not know that, but I do.
So, I might not know it, but I'm doing it. Do I notice anything from them understanding me when I'm speaking Elvish? Like,
Absolutely not. No.
okay. So he's like, turn around. I'm just right back
I
at him.
love it. I love it. Why make fun? Why you make fun? Takes a staff and like kind of points it towards you.
I'm gonna take out
Zed?
my
Zed?
gun.
Zed? Zed.
Excuse me. Excuse me. And I will approach. My wings are slightly unfurled just so I can see the color of them, and then I put them back because I'm not trying to intimidate. But I do want to let him know, like, who I am and what I am.
Okay. Yeah, you got it. I rolled really high. Ashwing.
Hi. We need to go to Chase.
With big boat.
Big boat is fastest for us in large group.
If you attack, we attack.
I do not want to hurt any of your people. I only want to go to Chase. We want to go to Chase.
We save you, we kill everyone else.
What?
We no kill Ashwing. You attack, we attack. But Ashwing's safe.
Thank you.
So,
And I look at the party.
I roll
you know,
a check on cards and be like, what?
That was a perfect. Okay, thank you. What's that?
No one will attack the Hadosi, correct?
Yes,
So-
and I will lower, like, kind of look at Zed, like, push the blowgun down a little, be like, please.
I'm
Absolutely.
gonna put the blowgun. I'm gonna point it down, and then I'm gonna reach into my pocket and I'm gonna pull out that one mushroom,
Oh god.
and I'm gonna show it to him. I'm gonna-
Ogre's gonna slap it because she'll
What does
recognize
this
the
do?
mushroom and slap it out of his hand.
Okay.
Would he
Okay.
know
Yeah, he's still
that it's
good.
from-
Yeah, he would definitely know a poisonous mushroom.
Like, does he know we got it from the beast?
No, I don't think so. No. But I mean, he just sees you. He sees you presenting a poisonous mushroom to him, and now he sees Ogre kind of like slapping him. And actually, there's a certain point with this one, Mahil. Red shirt. That's you, Ogre.
Okay.
Is he speaking in common?
Yeah, he's speaking in common.
Ogre?
Where's shirt from?
It was a blanket or a sheet, if I remember correctly. But then we made it into a shirt for me because I had my 6th growth spurt.
Look like my old sheet.
It actually could be.
Give old sheet. Yeah, he takes this moment and like recognizes this is a PG-13 session and goes, never mind.
Wait.
Not cool,
let's
bro.
think about this. What was your name again, sir? Your
Mahil.
name.
Mahil.
Bless you.
Mahil, what do you think about this fabric? It's very nice. I'm gonna show him the hammock that I have. You feel it. You can feel it. It's very comfortable.
Mm.
Yeah. I give you as a gift in replacement for your red tablecloth sheet. Yes.
It was a bed sheet.
Old sheet.
We had-
Old sheet, yes. New sheet, with newish sheet for old sheet. No problem.
You attack, We attack.
Okay. I've had enough
I
of
get
this.
that. Yes. No attack.
I will, because I just have enough of this. Car's wing goes up between him and the chieftain, just blocking him, not surrounding him, just like.
We do not wish to attack you. No.
I'm just gonna
no
pull
attack.
the feathers down. I'm gonna be like, Chieftain, come with
And I
me
bring it back
down
up.
here. I'm gonna
You
show
see,
him.
the chieftain. It's like, what?
I'm gonna go and show him the rest of that. What was it? The 10-foot fish that we have.
Okay.
That I have down in like below deck. And I'm gonna try to.
He's
barter.
definitely not gonna go below deck with you. If you want to bring it up, you could. But yeah, there's no
I'll bring
way.
it up. And does he notice anything special about the fish, or like anything that would like persuade him? Like, could it have been like a special fish that like you have to go through like your trials to like?
You killed their river deity. Oh.
What? What are you asking me? Are you asking me if it's like a special? Are you asking the Hadozi to?
No. I'm not asking him. I'm wondering if he like thinks there's something special about the fish, like their people go through like hunting certain animals to become like.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
An adult or something like that. If that's
Yeah.
what he sees in it.
So you want him to accept you into his tribe or something?
No. I want to like present him the fish, and I just wanted to see if the fish has any like any high rating to it or something, like a trophy or something like that.
Gotcha.
that would persuade him.
Yeah. You point to it and he goes, "Old fish."
Oh, and goes to her backpack and points to the horn.
Old horn.
I don't think he's trying to trade. You know attack. Car, our friend.
No, Ashwing.
Ashwing. Yes, you know attack Ashwing. We are Ashwings.
Carr looks over at him.
This card's got to be doing this right now. Like, no.
No, we belong. We are his
Entourage.
Good of his flock. Like he kind of,
We're all Ashwing.
We with Ashwing.
Oh
We are
my
with
God.
Asher,
This
we are.
dude's probably
With
like
Asher.
looking all different ways at all of us talking.
Stop.
Yeah.
I'm just in the middle of this. Sylvia! Sylvia!
Yeah, okay, cool. Well, that was fun. Let's have you guys, I'm going to say, Carr, you started the negotiation this. So I'm going to say, give me a, yeah, I believe in you. I believe you can do this. Give me a persuasion check with advantage from Yoon and sort of Zed helping.
Okay. Highest was a 13. But
Okay.
not in that one.
Beginner's luck. Roll d4.
Oh, roll another d4? Okay.
Yeah.
So 13 plus 4, so 17.
Ooh, nice roll.
15 was a DC. Fantastic. Cool. With a 17, he goes, okay, you keep old sheet. Be careful.
Thank
A
you.
lot of mushroom moose around.
And may the wisdom of the elders speak to your tribe.
Thank you. Truly. No attack. I think points at Zed.
It's like, you didn't like my fish, and you tell me not to attack.
Old fish.
A good fish. Have you had it over the fire with the crispy skin? Okay, then what would you call quality fish?
You bring me some to trade, I'll show you good fish.
Ooh. And Ogre's gonna bring out that little paper windmill she was playing with and just like hand it to him.
You're just gonna hand it to him?
Like, trade?
Okay. I rolled a nat 1. which is good for you guys.
It
Not
has
us.
been passed on.
Okay, cool. You hand him the fan, right? He hands you his staff
Ooh.
and goes, trade.
Trade.
What?
You need to know how to bargain with people, Zed, to do good trades. You're not a good tradesman.
Fish back underneath deck.
He's pushing the fish. Just
Paper
kicking it.
fan.
Yeah.
Not a fish. I got good fish here. What's a paper fan?
We good here. You pass safety.
Yeah, we pass.
Thank you, Chief.
Walks to the deck of the ship, walks all the way as if he's gonna walk off, and all of a sudden you see just two Hadozis come and grab him and just fly
And
off.
as he's walking off, Carr will walk with him. But
Okay.
as he's walking with him, I mean, he's not going to stop him from doing anything wrong. He just like walking the chief away out of respect. But he stands at his full height, which most of you haven't seen him do that yet, 'cause he's always crouched over. And he's a tall vulture. So he just walks like being respectful of the chief. I'm going to guide you off and be with you until your people get you type thing. And then when he runs off, Carr turns back around and crouches again and looks more like the shorter vulture that you saw.
Like how
I
tall?
love it.
He is. Hold on, he's somewhere in here. I'll find him. I swear, 'cause I wrote it down. Let me
As he
see.
turns around and is hunched back over, I'm gonna be right in his face, and I'm just gonna give him the look of, we're gonna do that.
So yeah, he's 5'9" when he's usually standing, but he's 6'1" when he's
Oh.
fully upright.
You're just 1 inch shorter than me.
Yeah, so I'm.
Hell.
But he's still very thin and vulture-like. He's just when he stands straight, he's easy to see when he wants to be.
I'm gonna be right in Car's car. We're doing that, right?
What?
You're gonna carry me around?
He flies up to the mast.
I'm gonna run up to the mast and climb up really fast. I was like, you're gonna fly me around and I'm gonna use my blowgun. It's gonna be like the ultimate attack.
No.
You feel
One day I will call upon you and I'm gonna call it hold on, I'll come up with a name. The Flying Dutchman. I'll just yell that and then you'll know to pick me up.
stones. Call it this. 2 falling stones.
I have a strength of 8.
Yeah, I love it so much.
2 falling stones is great.
About a couple more minutes pass by, and you guys see an opening where the water itself, there's a lot more of a rockier sort of terrain, and the river starts to actually widen. You see that there's actually another, not really a river per se, but just an expanse of small little currents that pick up from the from north of the island, and comes and washes over from that rocky sort of terrain. You can see there's an open sort of beach area where there's these massive huts, and you can see. Actually, let's say everybody give me a perception check.
17. I do roll things other than a 1.
24.
22.
So it's back
Yeah,
and forth.
that's back and forth.
Before you
22.
I got a 24.
Before you tell us
16.
this, can I pull Yoon aside for a second?
Yeah, absolutely.
During this couple minutes when we're doing this, I pull him aside when he's wanting out the river. I'm like,
Yoon? Don't call yourself Ashwing. It won't go well.
On the spot, sometimes you have to, I was trying to call us Ashwing's
You don't want to be Ashwing. No, you don't want to be that.
I won't do that again.
I will, when we have time in camp, I will tell you more about our people.
That sounds wonderful.
Okay.
That's all I wanted to say to him.
No, I love it. Cool. I'd say none of you rolled really bad except for Yoon. I think Yoon, you're just kind of thinking about this conversation maybe. But the rest of you see, Yoon, you definitely see the village. Like you see Matan, like, and it's a lot more impressive than you would have assumed. There are some very strategic looking palm trees that are put around in sort of like family sort of areas, but the huts are on the ground. You see them almost like as equivalent to like kind of like like a Viking sort of like long ship but turned upside down. That's how these huts look. So they're like these large sort of like long spread out areas, and you can see for the rest of you, you see there's actually a very large bonfire that is like that is currently lit, that is kind of off to the side here, and I'd say it's showed up maybe, I want to say about like 20 by 20 feet, so it's massive, and you see there are 3 rather large like ape-like Hadozis that are carrying the carcass of a Catoblepus and just throwing it onto the fire. You see what looks to be the remains of actually several different creatures that look to be the same. For some reason, there seems to be an overrunning of these creatures that this Hadozi tribe has taken care of. No problem. So good job. That could have been tricky. But you also see that the water begins to pick up and becomes a little bit more rockier on that side. So Zed, you immediately notice the ship like just naturally starts to turn inward, which is where you guys are going to start to have to go. But it looks a little treacherous. So as you are kind of like trying to guide the ship as best you can, give me a water vehicles check. So that's going to be, I'd say a survival check. I'm gonna say, yeah, this is gonna be hard, so I'm gonna say just a survival check. I think you're muted.
You're still muted.
23.
Fantastic. Yeah. Okay, cool. Awesome. So this gets a little scary, gang. As we see the water sort of like rushing, we see there's a significant dip, as there's a not necessarily like a waterfall coming down pretty close to it, as you guys are having to take that ship and go through this rapid sort of area of, as you are crashing down to the other side. You see Zed having to, like, Zed, with the 23, you're doing good, but it's a lot of work. So you have to like be like holding the continuously kind of like having to switch the wheel back and forth. Zed, you are a very accomplished deckhand. So I do think you can probably yell out to the others on how to help. But with a 23, that gets you past the first area. There's 2 more. So now you recognize what's there. 23, you're able to do it on your own. But now you get the idea, like you need to probably pull the sails up and allow the current to sort of take you, as you're able to sort of just move the rudder where you're needing to go. So if you're so say, what do you say to the crew?
I'm gonna tell them, I'm probably gonna yell, "Whoa, she's a wild one!" and then tell them like to lift up the mast and to brace themselves, watch out for the boom, like just all the different things that you normally hear. Tell them get
Cool.
ready, and it's gonna be like really, really bad.
Awesome. So this is basically a essentially what I would call a check challenge. Everybody is going to tell me as they go around in what they're doing to be able to try to preserve the ship from being able to make it past these rapid sort of area. So we're going to do 2 more of these. So if it's pertinent and it makes sense to be able to use, there might be a certain point where I might give you advantage on this roll based on how you're describing it. So this is a point where you get to be as creative as you want. But if it's something that I think really doesn't necessarily help here, it would be with disadvantage. So you want to try to get creative in something different, something interesting here. So first one up, just yell it out. What do you want to do to keep the ship afloat?
I will cast Borrowed Knowledge and call upon the spirits of this area. And if any of them have successfully navigated this area, I will fly to the parts of the ship where I can help using their knowledge.
Okay. You got it.
And so since Kaelinor has not actually seen this, when I call spirits to start flying around me and I'm talking to things that you can kind of ghostly see around me, but I'm actually getting answers from them.
I know not to question anything anymore. That is fine. Right. Okay.
So that's what I'm doing. And if I can help at all by suggesting things that I can't reach, I will call that out too, to help them.
Okay, so you're doing your bardic ability.
Yeah, there's a spell, 2nd level spell, Borrowed Knowledge.
Okay, cool. And then what would you like to do with that?
Say what?
What did you want to do with that Borrowed Knowledge?
I want to choose a skill in which I have no proficiency, i.e. watercraft.
Okay.
And then for the spell's duration, I have proficiency, and basically they're just telling me what I can do to help get through this. How can I help Zed to get through?
Cool.
So I'm not doing it to counterman Zed. I'm doing it like, hey, I need to help him. What do I need to do?
Okay.
And so I'm getting.
So actually, it'd probably be easiest then to just have you go last, because then it'll be like whatever's going to be kind of left over, right?
Sounds good.
So awesome. Next person, shout it out.
Ogra knows nothing about boats, but she knows this thing's fragile. So, if you could let me, I'd like to wild shape into a giant wolf spider.
Okay, absolutely.
Oh, God.
And so I'm a giant pink wolf spider's on the ship now. And you see I'm scurrying around and I'm using webbing to kind of give us a cushion around the ship.
I love that. Awesome. Give me a roll and add your spell attack modifier, please. And do so with advantage. That's very creative.
Nat 20.
Yay!
Okay, very cool.
That
Nat
was my
20.
Spell modifier.
Definitely.
That is a... That can't be right. Let me go back to my sheet. No, too far. Uh, 25.
Okay. Awesome.
They
Next
just
person.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Yoon is helping by encouraging everybody else and using the help action. Saying things like, keep up the splendid work. You're all doing marvelously. Remember, it's not just about winning, it's about winning with flair and panache. Keep your spirits high.
As you say this, I just feel like Riaris is just screaming, like running by, just like, what am I doing? You got this.
Bravo! You're doing great.
Jolly good.
Fantastic. You give me a persuasion check, please. And I'll say you have advantage because of the help action you're doing. I like that.
That'll be 16.
16. Okay. All right. Awesome.
Yeah,
Whoever
I'll
wants
go
to-
next.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I think Riaris knows just enough about sailing terminology to get himself in trouble and not really know what he's doing. So he's hearing stuff about rigging. And, I think probably they went through a storm or two, maybe coming down. So he's trying to help whenever he can. Looking at Zed, Zed's pointing around, calling things out to like secure ropes and rigging and to like tie things out, take down the mast. Sure, I'll try to figure it out. I don't think he really necessarily knows exactly what he's doing, but he's trying to be physically helpful.
You did have somebody show you how to tie some knots earlier.
That's right. So I'm definitely popping off some nice quick knots, which is good, but who knows what I'm tying?
Okay.
I don't know if it's beneficial. I'm just like, yeah, secure stuff.
Doing a great job.
Okay, there's no wind, there's no storm. I'm just like, yeah, do things, be useful. I think I might have mentioned, like, as I'm running around to Talia, be like, Talia, you ever, ridden boat? You have any suggestions? It's talking to myself.
No, I'm
mumbling,
from
yelling,
mountains.
just-
You know this.
You're right. Shit.
We've been from mountains for literally centuries. We have never traveled in water. I hope you make out alive.
Thanks. Yeah, me too. Okay, well, great. Yeah, I'm trying to do something. I don't know what I'm doing. Just trying to do stuff.
Does he still have his lance with him?
I don't think I'd have it on me currently.
Okay.
I have it around, but I don't think I'm carrying it around with me.
Okay, I was gonna say you could probably go to the back of the ship and help with the rudder and like dig it down in the water to help, kind of like when you use a paddle for canoe, kind of like help take strain off the rudder in the back.
Okay.
I like that.
I think if Zed were to give him like some more constant, like actual directions like that, that's what I would do for sure.
Okay, you got it.
Still not
I'll
exactly knowing what that means in a canoe and whatever a canoe is, but
Right.
sure.
I was just yelling, brace
I'll
the
give you
rudder.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and I'll allow you to do an athletics check, but it's like fully in line on the idea that Riaris really doesn't know what he's doing. I would say it's just a straight roll.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's a 4 and that's a 11.
Okay. Got it. 11. All right. Keona.
I'm going to go kind of unfurl the masts, and if I can, I would like to use Booming Blade, which is thunder damage, and use it to kind of pick up winds, if that makes any sense, to push the masts further.
I love that. That's cool. So you just, and there's a, I think from Zed's point of view, it looks like you're trying to cut the mast in half.
Jeff genuinely looks like I am trying to do that.
Yeah. But I love that. Cool. I'll say give me a, roll me a d20 and add your spell attack modifier.
Cool.
You have advantage on this.
That is a nat 20 for 25.
Oh yeah.
Guys, holy cow. All over the freaking place. Awesome. Wow. Okay. All right, and then Zed, I'm going to say...
Before you do that,
yes.
as my bonus action, I give him Bardic Inspiration. I send my spirits over to hype him up.
Okay, you got it. I'm going to say card. That's actually what your job is on that. So give me a performance check.
13.
13. Okay. All right. And then Zed, give me another survival check. You have a d6 to use on this roll.
That one's not good.
What'd you get?
I got 8.
8. Okay. Did you add the d6?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, baby. Okay. All right. We got a couple
Yeah,
nat 20s here, too. So.
Yeah, only thing
1, 2.
I could think of that I would do to even help out the smallest bit would be create water to create like
I'm gonna say if you want to do this on the second roll, you can. This one will have to be where it is. But yeah.
Okay.
So cool. So let me see here. Okay. We got 2 nat 20s here, so that's pretty good. All right, so the waters is rolling against with advantage. I'm going to say that the ship has an AC of we'll take from the highest, which is that nat 20. So 20 plus 3, so 23. Basically, I have to roll nat 20 to do damage to the ship. Cool. Awesome. I don't do it. Awesome. So now the second bout. So what we're going to do on this round to make this a little bit easier so you guys don't have to be creative on this. If you would like to do just pretty much so basically what happens is that second sort of space, which does actually end up becoming the small sort of waterfall, just as the ship immediately you feel everybody has to like grab hold. A couple of you probably hit the deck as water just splurts all over the deck. Sylvia is trying to do what she can to kind of keep the ship afloat on her side on this. She's standing, or she's probably just floating right in the middle. And you see like every once in a while there's like a little bit of a glittering sort of sphere around the whole ship. So here's what we're going to do. For the second roll, you can do the same thing. It's going to be a straight roll. If you want to do something else and it's creative, I'll give you advantage.
All right. So, since I rolled low, I'm going to create destroy water, and I'm going to create a bit of like, I guess, a wave, but go in the same direction that we're going. So if there's any rocks coming that I don't see under the water, the boat's going to be able to go over it.
I love that. Cool. So I think for Zed, give me same thing. You're using magic. Give me a d20 and add your spell attack.
Uh, 16.
16. All right, nice. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'm gonna help people again. What I'd like to do actually is use all 3 charges I have left of beginner's luck and 2 spell slots, both of enhance ability. So I want to enhance ability Bear's Endurance for Car, to just give him a higher carry weight and just generally make him stronger. And then for Riaris, I'm gonna give him Cat's Grace to make him have advantage on dexterity checks and not take damage if he falls. And then for the other 3, I'm doing the beginner's luck 1d4 for each of the other 3. So all 5 of them, I'm giving them something.
That's super cool. Give me amazing. Yeah, same thing. Spell attack. That's great.
Yeah, 23.
23. Holy moly. Nice. Cool. And then, so for those of you that got the Bear's Endurance or the Cat's Grace, are you going to be rolling with advantage? And then those that are rolling with the D4 get to add that D4 no matter what. That is cool. As we're kind of like continuing through this, Yoon, can you describe to me how you're doing this? What does this look like in our quick fast version?
I think so. He was standing like near the center of the ship, and at first like calling out helpful things, and then I think like he kind of gets quiet and he closes his eyes, and you can see the 3 stars up his neck start to shine more and more brightly, and the cards kind of freeze in place, and he's almost like in a meditative position, and then just I think from a maybe even from a viewer's perspective, you just see these little threads of fate just pulled, just very tiny directions, and like Yaris was about to step on something that was going to slip, and he just steps to the side, and somebody else, Zed maybe notices a path, like a rock in the way, and he knows he has to turn to the side. He just happens to see it out of the corner of his eye, and each person is just these just little effects that help them to do something or help them to miss on failing at something happen as he sits there and just sort of pulls these little threads.
Like, so from my mind's eye perspective, we have Sylvia about maybe 15 feet above you, like holding this sort of together, and you're standing there, and you're just centered. You close your eyes, and all of a sudden you can see it. And we see a vision of Yoon with instead of 2 hands, it's just 5 hands, like just putting out from different sort of perspective of his body, all seemingly to kind of be like tugging at threads at various times, allowing everyone else to be able to avoid the obstacles that are in there. This is really cool scene, just from like, as we see water just kind of splash and then manage to kind of dissipate into mist from passing through the sphere. Super fucking cool. I love that. Awesome. Great. Cool. We see the rocks coming up ahead. Is anybody doing anything different?
Are we still like going down the waterfall, or are we just now going? Okay, as soon as
kind of in like a in between.
Soon as I see that, I get off from around and start scurrying up the mast. And as fast as I can, I want to make like a parachute. Like when a race car has to brake really hard, they have that parachute thing. I want to do a web and put it on the mast.
I love it. You just tie it together on there, and as it just immediately grabs the wind, pulls that out, and you just see it kind of pull back. We feel the entire ship kind of lurch upwards, gaining like ridiculous air as this starts to float back down. Incredible. Give me Ogre, would you say this is you just using your trait, or are you... Yeah. I'm going to say you have advantage on this. But give me a d20 plus your wisdom modifier, I think. And if this succeeds, it'll be better.
Okay. So it's still with advantage as well?
Still with advantage, yep.
Okay. Okay, the best is a 19. And what else did you want me to add to it?
19 will do it. 19 plus 3, so 21.
Yep.
Awesome. You do that, and there's a significant moment adding to this scene. All of a sudden, as everything gets lurched upward in the air, as we have now developed in the Isles our first airship for a second, as this thing manages to kind of grab a little bit more wind than expected and starts to actually just kind of float down to the next part. This is looking good, gang. Cool. I'll start calling it out. Kaelinor, what are you doing?
How is the path in front of us looking? Is it like jaggedy rocks, or is it kind of Zed is weaving in and out? We good with that?
Zed is weaving in and out, but there are jagged rocks that are probably going to hit the bottom at some point. The question is whether or not it's rocks that are going to break the hull or not.
Okay. Shoot. I don't know if this would do anything, but I'm going to throw it out onto the wall anyway and see if it sticks. I would like to, if this makes any sense, use Fury of Tides as to kind of basically break any rocks that I see, or maybe use my scimitar in a way in which those kind of rocks at the bottom I can kind of lift up from the back and with one side and then kind of break them with the other.
Okay. You are a paladin. So if you wanted to imagine, then everything is, melee based. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. I like your concept a lot. So to do so, I know what you could do. You could be actually just hanging out right on the bowsprit and then just like tie yourself off and like dangle out to try to like take your javelin and like destroy the rocks before they're hitting down on the absolutely literally breaking rocks. Awesome. This is a paladin feature, so I'm going to say roll me a d20 and add your charisma modifier, and you have advantage.
Okie dokie. 15 plus 3, 18.
Nice. Awesome. Okay, so I think we have Carr and Riaris, right?
You want to go, Riaris? You want me to?
Sure, I don't think it matters. I'll go. I think this is an interesting moment for Riaris as he's looking around and after putting, I don't know if he probably felt like what he had done was useful, the lance. But as he's looking out now, he sees Yoon, he sees Ogra casting the webs, he sees Kaelinor, doing something in Zed's mastery. He feels almost not helpless, but in a different spot of seeing all these other people using these other abilities that he doesn't have, and he is fish out of water, quite literally in this situation. He's not really sure what to do. And I think he would probably try to continue just doing that or just trying to be helpful and really, but also at the same time feeling a little bit, not like defeated, but a little bit of like very much taking the back side here of like, what can I do to be helpful? Because I don't have the tools in my toolbox to do much with this, and I'm not sure what to do.
Okay. You got it. Give me an athletics check.
Okay, natural 1.
Advantage.
Oh my god.
I think you do have advantage.
Well, I don't have it. That's the advantage on Dex, but athletics is not Dex.
This is from Yoon's thing, I think.
It's just a general advantage to the conceptual kind of thing.
Yeah. Gotcha. I thought it was just for Dex saves. My bad. All right.
Oh, for this.
That one turns into a 3, so 10.
Good.
There's a moment where you hear. Sorry. You hear Talia saying to you, "You have this the Steelhawk's power. You can just launch the ship. Just launch the ship."
I can't launch a ship. What?
Cal the Roos could carry a whole ship on his back. You can too. Just believe in yourself. Go.
Okay.
Oh
I'm gonna try to do the line, but like hold on to a rope maybe. I'm gonna grab a rope next to me or something and just kind of into the air. That's what's gonna happen.
You got it.
He's just spinning around the mast and ties himself upside down.
Listen, these are bad rolls, okay? Let's be clear. With the advantage from the nat 1 going to a 3, you go to like push. What was it?
It's a 10 total.
10 total. Okay, cool. So that will make me change things, because what I was gonna do is just have you actually break the rudder, because you like push the whole thing off. So what I will say is, because you grab a rope, you just launch yourself into the air, and there's a moment where you realize like conceptually this didn't work. You pushed off yourself. So you just launch yourself up into the crow's nest. You do land perfectly in the crow's nest. Okay, yeah, no, maybe it wasn't the whole ship. Maybe it was just a small canoe. But I don't know what a ship looks like. This is the first time.
I mean, this kind of happened exactly as I thought it would. Well, I'm up here now, so looks good, everybody. We're almost there. Just yell.
Spider ogre going.
Yeah, right on the top. I think you hear Sylvia just yelling out to Riaris from down below, like, "What are you doing down here? What are you doing?"
It's really windy up here. I can't hear you.
And just shaking her head as she's continuing to kind of hold the sphere in place. Amazing. 10. Okay, cool. Car, I think you're. Car, did you already go?
No, I have not.
Okay.
So I assume for my reaction, I'm going to give Zed my bardic inspiration again. But I have a question regarding this waterfall. Is it like? Okay. Tell me, I'm not. I guess it's one of these.
Yeah, please.
Help me understand where the waterfall is in regards to the boat. I'm a little confused.
So it's kind of like it's a structure of like many small waterfalls, but this one is to basically figure out how the ship is going to be able to handle a rather large one.
But I mean, is it coming from above us, over us, or is it we're running alongside of it, or what are we doing?
You're running off of it, yeah.
Off
so eventually the ship,
yeah. After seeing what Ogre, so that now I understand better. Seeing what Ogre did with the whole catching a little bit of wind.
Yeah.
Let's help some gust of wind.
Love it. Oh, it's so good.
So I will call my Aarakocra spirit and have him just throw some wind into it.
It just goes straight up into it. Amazing. Go ahead and roll that d20 and add your spell attack.
Okay.
And you have a d4 to this.
Really? Okay, that's nice. So, this is going to be a 27.
God dang.
Man, we must go right up to the tree line.
Yeah.
Flying now.
You did create an airship.
Okay, I have to roll a nat 20 for anything to even happen. I don't get it. Cool. So you guys managed to, at the end of this, you were actually literally like with the gust of wind, like consistently blowing, you guys are full on airshipping. So you see in front of you this extremely large rock that has a deep reddish sort of hue to it. It is almost perfectly round from your perspective. As you were you were actually passing over it for a second. So Zed, well, actually Sylvia will just call it out, like, we're passing it. We're passing it. We need to go down.
I will then try to call off the gust of wind since she's telling us to go down.
Too fast. Yeah.
We are some questions like, it's working. You know.
Oh my God.
And you guys managed to figure out to be able to kind of like try to turn the ship and use the mast to kind of move into the air and position it back down and kind of circle around. And you touch down to this water that is still moving pretty heavily. Zed, you would know to kind of like drop the anchor here. And you see it drop into the water and eventually immediately catches on something as you feel pretty confident right now that the ship is safe, as you are staring at this extremely large, you would only have seen that it was perfectly round from the top. So this extremely large kind of mountainous sort of figure or rock in front of you. And as everybody's catching their breath, brushing themselves off, Sylvie goes, "Okay, all right, we're here. Everybody okay?"
So, yeah, let's do it again.
And with that, we're going to end tonight's session. Thank you guys so much. First one of the year. We did it. Nav, welcome. Glad to have you. And with that, we will see you all next week. Bye.